Let's get nasty on a Friday. It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Andrew Marsh, Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. Jamie Rivers, everybody. Jamie Rivers. Jamie Rivers. Jamie Rivers. Jamie Rivers.
I'll take it.
Has us up 1-0 in the Pick'em Challenge against the Rizzuto Show because Jamie was the only one with the huevos rancheros to take the Lions last night. And when they went for it on 4th down and Jared Goff got the pass batted down, I thought to myself, Jamie Rivers, you idiot. But then the Lions had Dan Campbell and Jamie's back.
Yeah, they did.
The defense had your back, Jamie, as well as Dan Campbell's back. What a win. What a win by you NFL picking genius, and what a win for your third child, the Detroit Lions.
My new favorite child, apparently. Okay, so let's dive into this game a little bit. First of all, Dan Campbell has got the balls the size of church bells. He's got, 4th and 2 at his own 20-yard line, and not only does he go for it, it's a fake punt.
Yeah.
So right there, I was like, okay, he's setting the tone.
Up the middle, too.
Up the middle, correct.
He went interior on that one.
Well, he knew his guys would get there for him.
No doubt.
Let's go now to the fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
Dan Campbell, they end up short, 2 yards. The camera pans to my guy. He's like, go for it, let's go for it. I'm like, no.
You're not about to do a set of deadlifts. You're trying to win an NFL game.
He was cross-eyed with intensity on that. I'm like, that's when we make mistakes.
That's emotional.
Ashley was a prisoner at the time. Not really, but I made her watch the game. And she's like, what, was that a bad decision? I'm like, yes. Yes. You did it once, okay? You tempted fate once. You're at the 40-yard line or 43, whatever the hell it was.
Yeah.
You could put him inside the 10 with a proper punt. At least make it hard for Patrick Mahomes, okay? At least test the guy a little bit. No, he goes for it, gets it batted down, and I thought to myself, this is it.
Yep.
This is where they're going to lose. This is how it happened last year. A couple of the games early on for them, they lost it in the last few moments of the game.
Good call.
And then the defense went out there and stood their ground. Now, a couple of penalties certainly helped them there. But the right tackle getting a little bit of the heebie-jeebies there. He was like,
Boy, he
didn't know the snap count. He didn't even know what city he was.
Brown all night.
Yeah.
All night.
Scared.
Kicking back.
We had Hutch all night.
That's a tough assignment, and he had him one-on-one.
He did. Actually did a really
no
good
tight
job.
end chip,
really
no nothing.
Job.
For a while there, he did pretty good because he only allowed, I think, the 2 hurries up until late in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, when he threw him in a cross-face chicken wing that one time. But at that moment, I thought, Patrick Mahomes only needed, 9 or 11 seconds 2 years ago in the playoffs?
Yeah.
To march down the entire field to get a touchdown. He only needed 15.
Taylor. Sorry, it's Taylor, not Smith. Not
he
Brown.
only needed 15 to 20 yards to get a field goal and win the game this time. And he comes out just striping right to the receiver and right through his hands. Right to the receiver and right through his hands. I couldn't believe it.
I thought Kadarius Toney was the Lions' best player at times last night.
You know what I thought of? The moment that thing went through his hands for I don't even know how many times, or when it hit him and just exploded off his hands. I thought of the replacements. What was that guy? The receiver?
Yeah, with all the gunk on his hands.
All the stickum.
Yes.
He couldn't hang on to the ball. I forget his name in the movie. I forget his name. Please, someone help me out. But I thought of that right away. And then when they missed the interception, I thought, that's fine. We're fine. But then it's still 4th and 20, then 4th and 25. Anthony, I still thought the Chiefs were going to get it.
Well, you saw right before half when they completed the one. It was 3rd and 17, and Mahomes found Marquez Valdez-Scantling.
He's always good for one play.
Clifford Franklin.
That's it.
Clifford Franklin.
Yeah.
The wide receiver.
And he, so anyways, you get to that moment, and now looking back, Dan Campbell successfully going for it early in the game with the fake punt.
Yeah.
And then basically telling his defense, I don't care. I trust you guys. Even though I know he doesn't. I trust you guys. And they got the job done. That's a galvanizing moment for the Detroit Lions. And this is why players go out there and play so hard for Dan Campbell.
Mm-hmm.
Because he had no doubt he's like, we're going for it. It was a mistake. Don't get me wrong. If they lose that game, that's a turning point where he looks back and goes, man, that was a really stupid coaching move.
Yep.
He's done it before, too,
yeah,
where he
yes,
has not ended up converting, but they've also had really good plays where they do convert. Like Penei Sewell last year, when they, for some reason, he's catching a fourth down pass. So it's just little stuff like that that gets these guys going.
Mm-hmm. Somebody asked me, hey, what are your thoughts from last night's game? I've got a lot of smaller thoughts. Here's the overarching thought, though, okay? Before we get into what not having Travis Kelce and Chris Jones on the field did for the Chiefs, or some of the intricate details of, like, the game plans and things like that, which I always loved breaking down. Forget all that for a second. The one overarching takeaway that I had last night was this. As somebody that, and Jamie, you were in Detroit too.
Yeah.
You were in Detroit for several years playing for the Red Wings. I was there. That was my first radio job, was in Detroit. I lived there for 4 or 5 years. The Lions, it's always been the theme was same old Lions. So anytime they had any sort of excitement, there was always a moment throughout the year when the media would plaster that statement, same old Lions. So you have this offseason in which the national media is on board. And they love the offense. They didn't really talk much about the defense.
No.
They kind of overlooked that. And I thought they overlooked it to the point where it's like, hey, why aren't we talking more about the Lions defense not being good a year ago? But they overlooked that to hype up the Lions. Everybody's on board. So you go into Arrowhead on a Super Bowl celebration night. Banner night. You go into Arrowhead on opening night, regardless of Travis Kelce and Chris Jones's playing status, and you win. That's impressive. That was a statement game early in the season for the Lions.
Well, how about the fact that, and I didn't realize it until it was happening, as I kind of wasn't paying attention, doing some stuff, watching the game. They had people at Ford Field in Detroit watching the game on the big screen.
That's one of the more underrated fan bases in the NFL.
Even Anthony, you know as well as I do, okay, that just didn't happen for a long time. There was no way it could have happened. There was no
right. There was no reason to root.
Now
they would show up, but miserable. It's a miserable fan base,
expecting
because
to
their
lose.
team. Yeah, because their team is always stunk.
So not only did they have people at Ford Field watching the game, they had a massive following at the Chiefs game. A ton of Lions fans at Arrowhead.
Yeah, they brought that up on the broadcast last night.
It was unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
And now you look at the team, and also they've got a waiting list now for season tickets. Things are changing. Mm-hmm. And honestly, you go back to the general manager. What's his name again?
Oh, they're
Bradley or
Brad Holmes.
Brad Holmes.
Yes.
Okay, you go back to Brad Holmes and the roster he's put together in a very short period of time, and the fact that he picked the right mutant to lead these people.
Right.
He did.
Yep.
He did. Like, we're watching the game last night, and Dan Campbell's on the side, and my girlfriend doesn't know who the hell Dan Campbell is. She goes, who the hell's that guy? He's huge. Yeah. I'm like, well, he used to play, for one thing, and I think he still outbenches half the team.
Probably.
Yeah, and he's a psychopath.
Yeah.
But they love him. I love him. I'm right now, anybody who's listening, anybody who has a connection at all to help us get Dan Campbell on this show, please do so. I want that guy on this show. I want to play for him. I'll be the holder. I don't care.
That's an important job, as Bill Belichick.
And I'll run down the field and try to tackle somebody for Dan Campbell.
Yeah.
I'll step in front of a bus for that guy right now. 5-10 miles an hour, nothing more than that.
Sure.
Still.
Maybe coming to a stop or something.
Yeah. Rolling a stop sign,
sure.
It's fine.
Yeah.
But no, I think that the leadership that they've had from the GM, now to the head coach, and now the players who are responding. It's been a massive turnaround.
Yeah, and you almost saw that last night when they faked the punt. They ran it because you could tell like both sides were. I thought both offenses were pretty much out of sync all night. Kansas City's for sure, and they've got a reason to because no Travis Kelce. Kadarius Toney, he got injured in the offseason, so you didn't know if he was going to play.
Did he hurt his hands?
No, he didn't. It wasn't a hand injury.
Sure?
It wasn't. Yeah,
sure, car didn't drive over his hands.
He had a rough night. And I hated. We could talk about the decisions, the fourth downs, and all that stuff for Kansas City. The one at the end, I didn't mind at all. It's about possessions at that point, not necessarily the clock. And a score by the Lions doesn't hurt you. You almost hope in the Lions score if you're the Chiefs because you get the ball back at least. So I didn't mind the fourth and whatever call at the end. I thought that was good game management. Really, Reed.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Campbell. I'm like, Anthony.
No, the 4th and 25. Where like, why is he going for it? Because it's a possession game. You got 3 timeouts. If they kick a field goal, you got Mahomes. A little bit of time left, and you're only down by 4. They score a touchdown. You got a little time left. Mahomes, and you need a touchdown at 2-point. I had no issue with what he did there.
Once they got to 4th down, though, don't you think, or 3rd down even, they should have given the ball back to the Lions at some point? And then force the Lions to go score?
I think that's essentially what they did by going for it on 4th down.
Yeah, you're right.
Here's where you don't punt. You could get a pass interference call. You could get a defensive holding call, which would have set you up with the first and 5, automatic first down. You could have got a roughing the passer call. They completed a 3rd and whatever to Valdez-Scantling in the second quarter. I didn't mind that play at all. What I didn't like was the Toney jet sweep there.
What the hell was that?
On that one, like
so dumb.
And we can criticize.
Are we getting too cute?
Well, we can be hypercritical about every play call that doesn't work out, right? But when you're watching that game last night, right? When you're watching that game last night, and the Lions linebackers, Campbell and Anzalone, are so active. To try to go sideways like that, I thought was just a dumb move. And the way that the tackles for Kansas City were constantly setting up so wide.
Jawan Taylor? That guy didn't get a flag all night until when it really mattered.
He was moving constantly. I mean,
he had the salsa feet going there.
He did. So again,
lined up where the running backs usually are.
To call a jet sweep and try to go sideways made no sense to me. But credit the Lions. I thought their linebackers were highly active, and Aaron Glenn, the defensive coordinator, they ranked dead last halfway through the year last year in everything, every defensive category. And they really finished in the bottom 5 in most defensive categories. But he made some adjustments last year. And there was a point where he switched up his front to match kind of what Vic Fangio does with his defense, a gap and a half with his defensive linemen. And it started to turn things around. And then they signed a bunch of corners to improve the secondary. CJ Gardner-Johnson was one of them, and then the pick 6 last night off a ricochet there. But Aaron Glenn might have this defense point in the right direction. Jamie, I give you credit not only for the pick last night, but you had mentioned when we were talking about the Lions a couple of weeks ago, last week I think, you said if the defense could merely be average, this offense is good enough to win the division, and it showed last night. No Kelce, it's a huge deal.
Oh, that's massive.
But to hold them to hold Mahomes and Andy Reid to only 20 points at Arrowhead on opening night is impressive, nonetheless.
It's going to be a great year to be a Lions fan, Anthony.
It said, so far so good, man.
Jump on board, listeners. Jump on board. Come on.
Jamie's driving the bandwagon.
Yeah, I'll drive this bandwagon.
Seats are filling up quickly, though.
They better be.
It's a Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. The lineup is out for tonight's Cardinals game. We'll play a lineup game next. I'm fired up for Auto Center's Nissan Herculaneum and their huge anniversary sale. That's right. They got the huge anniversary sale at Auto Center's Nissan Herculaneum. 750 new and used vehicles of almost every make in stock, discounted, ready for immediate sale. You can also spin to get up to an additional $1,000 off. Register to win a new Polaris ATV and receive other gifts and prizes just for stopping by Auto Centers Nissan Herculaneum throughout this month. Again, huge anniversary sale. They've got trucks, SUVs, sports cars, and much more, all marked down. Financing options for everyone. Every single person. Good credit, bad credit, doesn't matter. Auto Centers Nissan Herculaneum, they've got financing options for every single customer, as well as those huge additional discounts and prizes. So head out to Herculaneum this weekend. Head out there tonight. If you need a vehicle, there is no better time than to stop out at Auto Centers Nissan Herculaneum than right now. Tell them Stalter sent you. ESPN's parent company, Disney, has been unable to reach a market-based agreement with Charter Communications to keep its channels on their cable system and their streaming service. As a result, Spectrum TV customers have lost access to ESPN and Disney's unrivaled sports, entertainment, and family programming from the ESPN networks, the Disney-branded channels, Freeform, the FX networks, and the National Geographic channels. Customers, though, can go to keepmynetworks.com. Again, keepmynetworks.com for alternate choices, including DirecTV Stream, Hulu Plus Live TV, YouTube TV, Fubo, and much more, all of which can be activated immediately without a service call. Time to play lineup game here in the Fast Lane on 101 at ESPN. Cardinals fall last night to the Braves. Another rough outing for Adam Wainwright.
Rough.
Yeah. 8-5 loss. Ronald Acuna Jr. touched seats immediately in the first inning. Braves go on to score 3. Cardinals strike back for 3, tied up in the top of the second. But things fell apart again in the 5th and the 6th. And Adam Wainwright stuck once again on 198 wins.
I think Adam Wainwright and the St. Louis Cardinals and anybody who's currently thinking about 200 wins, I think they should just not think about it.
Yeah, that's probably good advice.
I don't mean like... I'm not saying he won't get there, but let's stop talking about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because ever since that became the focal point, like, it hasn't been good.
No.
So,
Jamie, it's a good call.
Yeah. I'm just trying to help.
Tonight, Cardinals Reds. It'll be Andrew Abbott, the left-hander for the Reds.
Oh, Jim's brother.
Against Drew Rom, another lefty. You got a lefty-lefty. You got a southpaw matchup.
I just thought because Jim Abbott was a lefty too, wasn't he?
Was he a lefty?
I can't remember.
I can't which glove he flipped to.
Yeah.
No, I thought he was a righty. Because I think he had the glove on the left side and then flipped it to the right.
Oh, maybe I had that.
It looks like he was a lefty.
Yeah.
Son of a.
Yeah, he held his glove with the right arm.
And then flipped it to the left?
And then as soon as his delivery, he would throw it and he'd grab his glove on the way back.
That's remarkable.
Super talented.
For those who don't know, and I don't want to assume that everybody knows who Jim Abbott was, but Jim Abbott is, I should say. Jim Abbott is.
Yeah, I think he's still with us.
A former left-handed pitcher that had one arm. So he would throw, then throw the glove basically to his other hand so that he could field his position. He did
there's
this
several
every single
times
pitch.
where he'd have a comeback.
Yeah.
And he'd make a
snag
catch.
it. He was really a great defender from a pitching standpoint. Threw a no-hitter, too.
He did throw a no-hitter.
Right?
It's insane.
It is. It's absolutely insane.
Watching that guy pitch back in the day was like must-watch TV just because of how incredible he was.
Could you imagine being a teammate, too, like down about something?
Oh, yeah.
You're
Well,
like,
it's me.
Man, I just can't catch a break. Really? I'm out here shoving with one arm. So how about you just do your job? He probably would. He probably didn't say that, though.
Well, he had two arms, Anthony.
He just had one hand.
He just had one hand.
One hand.
Yeah.
You knew what I meant. All right, lineup game?
Yeah.
Sure, why not?
Yeah.
Left-hander on the bump tonight, Jamie, so
Yeah.
I think we're going to see a similar lineup.
Oh, it's going to be copy and paste.
All right, so
Tommy
Edman.
Just go ahead.
Show us Tommy Edman.
It's not even exciting anymore.
No.
Tommy likey. Tommy want wingy.
All right, just
Tyler O'Neill.
show us Tyler O'Neill.
Show us Tyler O'Neill, please.
Go ahead, Jamie.
Show us Paul Goldschmidt, please.
Gold! Rich with gold! Gold!
It was a winning lineup last night, right? So keep it going.
It wasn't. Show us Paul. Nolan Arenado.
Nolan is a security guard at the lumber yard.
All right. I think this is where it changes, though.
Yeah.
I think
Contreras
Big
is
Willie's
back.
in.
Agreed.
Show us that Big Willie.
Please.
This one goes out to all the big willies.
Wilson, are you naked? No, Tim, I'm wearing a hat.
Okay, so last night, the Cardinals had, let's see
Tell you,
here.
Anthony, I have my notes. Last night, Lucan Baker was at 6. He ain't in there tonight.
Okay. Well, Walker was fifth. So Walker here.
This will be Jordan Walker.
All right.
Anthony, go ahead.
Show us Walk It Like It's Hot.
Okay. Walker must be getting the night off, apparently. Well,
Burleson? No, he's a lefty. On the bump.
Gorman?
Never mind. Gorman was 7th last night.
he did get a hit. I know at least one. I have to go back and check.
I could see that. I could
Or
see
do they go
Gorman
Lucan
here.
Baker again?
Or they could go
what did
Lucan
Rube
Baker.
do last night?
Rube
'Cause
did.
Not to say that I wasn't watching the whole game, but guess
yeah,
what?
no, we all loved it.
I wasn't watching the whole game.
It was very, that was good. Real good game. Yeah.
The Lions.
Yeah, it was. Lucan Baker, 0 for deuce with a walk and a run scored. And Burleson pinch hit for him late. Now, what the hell? Show us.
No, hang on. Hang on.
Show us Lucan Baker.
Son of a. Oh, my God.
Sometimes you just got to go with it.
Is this Walker now? Or is Walker out?
I mean, were you
would Walker-
resting? Yeah, resting the young kid's legs. Gorman was here yesterday,
He was.
so why don't we go Gorman and then Walker? So
Okay.
you leave Gorman in there, and then you just slide Walker down for like no reason.
Okay, but let's figure out, where's Rube Baker playing? Is he the DH?
He's the DH probably.
Okay.
So you got your first baseman, you got your DH,
I'm with you
got your
on
third
Gorman here.
catcher. You got 2 outfielders right now, Edmonds in center, O'Neill in left. So yeah, you need a second baseman.
This is Jordan Walker. No, this is Nolan Gorman.
There you go. Show us Nolan Gorman.
There's a storm coming, Ari.
So we got our second baseman. Then Walker to complete the outfield.
I think this is Walker. We go Walker win. WW.
I love it.
Go ahead.
Let's walk it like it's hot, please.
Walk it like it's hot. Walk it like it's hot.
And then this has got to be win, isn't it? Show
for
us. Mason Witt.
What a shame.
So this has got to be Fermin. Unless
Edman.
maybe it's Palacios is playing center field and Edman's playing shortstop.
Or Newt is in center.
Oh, yeah.
And Edman's at short.
Well, I definitely think Edman's at short.
Yeah, he's right. He's got to be.
So now it's either Newt or Palacios.
Newt was not in the lineup yesterday.
No.
So it's Newt.
All right.
It's Newt, yeah.
Show us that pepper grinder.
1, 2,
Nice.
3, 4. I'm grinding.
Okay.
I'm grinding.
Good job, Jamie.
Not bad. Not bad.
Go ahead, Marsh. Run that thing.
All right, leading off the shortstop, Tommy Edman. Batting second, left fielder Tyler O'Neill. Batting third, first baseman Paul Goldschmidt. Your cleanup hitter, third baseman Nolan Arenado. Batting fifth, catcher Wilson Contreras. Batting sixth, the DH, Lucan Baker. Batting seventh, second baseman Nolan Gorman. Batting eighth in right field, Jordan Walker. And batting ninth, the center fielder, Lars Taylor Tatsui Newtbar.
Nice. Landed that.
I think it might be the first time I've been able to say Newtbar's name there.
What I just saw!
Question.
Jamie, you have a question?
Are we at the point of the season where we're celebrating outs? Let me polish that up. We get a text from the 636 says, "Hey, Baker had a really good at bat where he laced it to center field. Harris almost overplayed it coming in and had to jump for it."
Okay.
What? Now we're celebrating what are they?
No, just
wait,
point it out.
Anthony. Loud outs?
Nah, he's just pointing it out for us.
I understand, but I understand the 636 might be actually being snarky right now. Because can't tell, right? I read everything mean.
You do.
I do.
I don't think he's being mean. I think maybe he's either trying to help or it's like this.
I don't know. It's just,
Hey, Baker. Hey, Baker had a hard hit to center that Harris almost overplayed.
if it's that
Why
way.
wouldn't he be in the lineup?
If it's that way, I love the text.
All right.
If it's telling me that the reason Baker's in is because he had a really good out, I'm not happy.
It's a Friday. I think the text was made in snarky fast lane form.
Okay. Well, now they just he cleared it up. Says people that know baseball see that as a positive.
Oh, son.
No, now you ruined it for yourself.
Okay.
You should have just went with the fact that we thought it was sarcastic.
Must be part of the coaching
right.
staff.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, at the beginning of the year, they would, at least in the post-game press conferences,
Just Jeff Albert?
Ollie would say, like, hey, the exit velocity off the bat and all that stuff, like, they're hitting the ball really well. It's just going to people.
You're celebrating failures. That's what you're doing. Not you.
Not me,
Not you,
yeah.
Andrew. I didn't mean to make you feel attacked.
Well, I appreciate that, Jamie.
Okay.
Thanks for clearing that up.
I'm just glad we found the one Cardinals fan that was still watching at that point.
People know baseball. And it's not a positive. A positive would have been over the damn fence, into the gap, a double. That's positive.
Well, you don't know baseball.
Well, I know enough about that, Anthony.
Let's thumb our nose at you.
Oh, let's really hit the ball hard into the guy's glove.
Okay, I mean, let's not go too far, Jamie. You
either-
got to hit the ball
Hey,
hard.
you're either with me or you're against me.
You're right. I'm with Jamie. We're not celebrating any outs in the fast lane, okay? Unless it's a pitcher. And we know we can't celebrate any outs from a pitching standpoint because the pitchers haven't gotten any this year.
Not many.
I'm with you, man.
Yeah.
Preach.
By the way, 636, have a great weekend.
Oh, that was the 636. I like the 636.
There's more than one 636.
Nah, I like to view my 636
Your vision is
as all in just one.
person.
Yeah.
With several
Well,
different burner phones.
Just a team, basically.
Okay.
Do burner phones have area codes?
Oh, Marshy, like you don't know. Come on. Right? Marshy, he walked in the office one day and 3 phones. Like, what's that? He goes, I'm
don't
back
worry
on
about
Tinder. I'm like, what? This was a while ago.
He looked at us and said, don't worry about it. And we knew. All right. Did you run it, Marsh?
Yeah.
Okay.
We ran it. We hit the home
We're
run.
already doing
thing.
the home run
We gotta
derby.
pick
We're
our
doing the home run.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're about to lose
You better
time.
hurry up here, Anthony. You're off clock again.
Come on.
Yeah. I am. You're
Take
right.
one little
I don't know how
shot
that
of
happened.
energy drink.
Man,
and
he's all over the place. Now he's like JoJo, the idiot.
look like
circus
Juwan
boy.
Taylor out there on the
JoJo.
offensive line.
Jojo, the circus boy. Pretty new pet. Go ahead, Jamie.
All right, my turn. Oof.
Are the standings still the same? 9, 7?
Yeah, I don't think anyone hit a home run last night.
No.
Well, at least on the Cardinals.
My Acuna pick played out.
There you go.
I think Nolan Arenado wakes up tonight. Actually, scratch that.
Ooh.
No, I'm going to go with that because the moment I scratch that, Anthony, you know what's going to happen, right? Yeah. No.
Yep.
Nolan Arenado, please.
All right, Marshy.
Let's go Contreras.
That's where I was going. That's what I was going to do. I was going to flip.
Contreras.
I was.
I'm going to go walk it like it's hot.
All right.
Jordan
Wow,
Walker.
look at that.
All right, there you have it. Fast
All
Lane.
right.
Jamie Rivers,
Good luck,
Andrew
everybody.
Marsh, Anthony Stalter's Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. What needs to be the identity of the Blues this season? Jamie will tell you next on 101 ESPN. Well, if you're anything like Jamie Rivers, you know you got that little note on your TV screen, and you weren't happy about it. That note came out a couple of days ago, and you know ESPN's parent company, Disney, well, they were unable to reach a deal with Charter Communications to keep its channels on their cable and their streaming services. Well, as a result, Spectrum TV customers have lost access to ESPN and Disney. So no sports, no entertainment, none of those channels, ESPN networks, Disney-branded channels, Freeform, FX networks, National Geographic channels, gone if you're a Spectrum TV customer. However, if you are one of those customers, go to keepmynetworks.com. Keepmynetworks.com. You got alternate choices for you: DirecTV Stream, Hulu Plus Live TV, YouTube TV, Fubo, and more, all of which can be activated immediately without a service call.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. Last night, Adam Wainwright unable to get win number 199 as the Cards fall to the Braves by a final score of 8-5. They'll be back in action tonight taking on the Cincinnati Reds. Drew Rahm going up against Andrew Abbott, 5:40 first pitch. Also last night, kicking off the NFL year, the Detroit Lions defeated the Kansas City Chiefs 21-20. We'll have NFL for you this weekend. The Saints taking on the Titans, Patriots, Eagles, Giants, and Cowboys. All of that coming your way right here on 101 ESPN starting at 11:30. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff. Find new roads and shop 24/7 at londoff.com and londoffautoplex.com. Are you kidding me?
Don't forget, you can join us and Bud Light for Blues and Brews on Friday evening, September 22nd at the Anheuser-Busch Brewery. Get fired up for the blues season at this outdoor street party. It's featuring live music from country music star Chris Lane, as well as local blues musician Marquise Knox, plus appearances by blues players and alumni, food trucks, blues merch, 101 ESPN giveaways, and much more. Tickets are now on sale, so visit 101ESPN.com for additional event details and to purchase your tickets for Blues and Brews on September 22nd. Speaking of our Blues, Jamie, what needs to be the identity for this Blues team this year? We both agree that they should be considered a playoff contender.
Yes.
You didn't make it last year. Expectations should be a fairly quick rebound. But in order to do so, it's not just about the talent, it's about the identity. So what identity do the Blues need to have this year in order to cash in on those expectations of the playoffs?
Heavy forecheck. Tenacious forecheck. Whatever word you want to call it, forecheck. That's where the game starts for the Blues. Craig Berube has said it several times to us on this show, to the other media members here in St. Louis, to anybody who will listen. This team needs to be heavy on the forecheck. And that doesn't mean you go in there and you're just absolutely murdering people on the other team.
Yeah.
You have certain guys who can send a message physically. You've got the Sundqvist, you've got Toropchenko, you got Braden Shen, Jake Neighbors, Sammy Blais. You got guys that can rattle the glass out there with some hits, but that doesn't necessarily equate to a good forecheck. Sometimes you can be overly aggressive, pull yourself out of position, and the opposition uses you by having you be too aggressive, and then the guys behind you aren't in their spot. That's why it's imperative that you have a steady forecheck. And what I mean by that, let me explain, is it can't just be one guy in like scorched earth and then four guys that are late to the dance.
Yeah.
Because all that happens there is the guy absorbs the hit, moves the puck past the first guy, and you're up with speed. Now you're caught on your heels. So what you need is you have to have it timed properly, where F1, so forward one, gets in there, and he's there to disrupt. I always call that guy the hunter. He's there to get in there and hit the player, get the puck, separate the puck, cause confusion, deflect it, whatever it is. It can't be an easy play for the team that's looking to break out of their zone. The second guy is equally as important, because when a player's under stress like the opposition is going to be at that point, they're going to try and make the quickest, easiest, simplest play to get out of trouble. Mm-hmm. Well, that's usually right close. So it's either quick up to the winger, a quick D to D, a quick pop pass to the middle, whatever it is. So F2, your second forward, he has to be right up on your heels so that the loose change that's kind of lingering around, he has a chance now to pick that up. And then your F3, your high forward, he's kind of guarding that area of the top of the circles, high slot. And then when you have a good forecheck like that, your defenseman can hold the blue line. They can be aggressive and stand up. So for me, the identity of the Blues has to go back to when they were a heavy forecheck team. And all that means is you have to compete. And what does Craig Berube say all the time?
Yeah, he wants guys that can compete.
I need competitive guys. I need guys that compete in practice, compete for loose pucks, compete in the defensive zone, offense. It's all about competing. We had Braden Shen on yesterday, and he's like, yeah, Chief wants guys to be good teammates, work hard out there, compete. Mm-hmm. So the message is clear.
Yeah.
So for me, the identity of the Blues this season has to be a heavy forecheck team. And I guarantee you, if they're able to do that, the neutral zone will clean itself up because you'll have more bodies that can disrupt the middle of the ice in the neutral zone because everybody's up together as a pack of 5. And then defensively, you'll give up less opportunities of giving up the blue line with ease. So the defensemen can't stand guys up if they don't have back pressure from their forwards that are helping out. Back pressure, all that is back checking, guys that are coming back to disrupt. So if the opposition's trying to gain the blue line and they slow down for a second, boom, someone's lifting their stick and taking the puck from behind. Mm-hmm. Or the defenseman now can stand up knowing that they've got, let's say it's Braden Shen, at full speed. So as soon as they step up and slow the other player down, either fully or even half, Braden Shen's right there to pick up the loose change or to intercept the puck from the player. Mm-hmm. But all of it starts off of having a heavy forecheck.
Do they have the personnel?
They do.
Do they have the want to?
That's the biggest question I have about a few of these guys is like the Jordan Kyrous, the Robert Thomas, the Jacob Verana, really super skilled, super able, but if they're not willing to get in there on the forecheck or to be the second guy or the third guy in the right spot, then that's where the problems happen. And I'm not just isolating it to them, but I am kind of highlighting them because there were times last year where it wasn't there. And what's really crazy for me is those 3 guys have such good speed, such good foot speed, that they could disrupt plays all over the ice. And so that's the maturity level, though, too. You gotta continue to mature as a player and realize what you can do without having to be Braden Shen and smashing through guys all the time. Look at Ryan O'Reilly. I don't know if he had 11 body checks last year. I'm not being facetious. Or the year before. He doesn't have to. Because he'd get in there, he'd be tenacious, he'd get right in that little triangle, which is where the stick is out in front of the player and the legs makes a little triangle, go right through the triangle, take away the opponent's hands, and now you can get the puck back. And Ryan O'Reilly's not blessed with speed. He's blessed with competitiveness. So when you have other players like Thomas, Kyrou, Verana, Kapanen, you name it, doesn't matter. Let's throw everybody in the bucket. Sammy Blais, if they're going hard, then they're just as able to forecheck and play like Ryan O'Reilly. In fact, maybe more so because they have better foot speed. But do they have the desire to be that guy? Do they have the want to bear down? Do they have that fire in their belly to just compete? We'll find out. Because Ryan O'Reilly, that's one thing that separated him. Of the many great things that he did, he's a tenacious competitor. So the foot speed wasn't necessarily the main thing for Ryan O'Reilly. But the Blues definitely have the personnel, especially if you look at some of the lines where they're going to be set up. Oscar Sundqvist coming back. Sammy Blais now back. He's a fixture on this team. Toropchenko's got a bigger voice, bigger role. Jake Neighbors, I talk about him. He put on some size. I saw him today. I was like, poof, kid hit the gym. He said he's finding that man strength. Well, guess what? That's going to make a difference, too.
Jamie Rivers, Anthony Stalter, it's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. We have our NFL divisional previews. I think we're done today, right? Marshy, yep. So we got the NFC South that we're going to do next, and then AFC South in the 5 o'clock hour, and that'll be it for our NFL predictions. I'm sure we'll hand out some Super Bowl predictions as well, with Game 1 last night going to the Detroit Lions in an upset at Arrowhead Stadium. NFC South divisional preview next on 101 ESPN.
Ooh, baby, the NFL season, it's going to be a lot of fun. If last night was any indicator of how close some of these games are going to be and how exciting they're going to be, man, I'm on board. I'm also on board with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, because FanDuel has great promotions, especially right now, for new customers that can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets, and that's guaranteed. And if you're already an existing customer or a new customer, everyone who bets $5 will get $100 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV.
Jamie, we handed out some picks yesterday. Sam Laporta, the local products, he went over like we said he would. Bam! Sky Moore, not so much, though. Sky Moore, 3 targets, came up empty. Kansas City, the wide receiver's not great last night, but it's all at FanDuel. All those player props that we talk about, all these spreads, the live betting, the in-game parlays, or the same-game parlays, I should say, it's all at FanDuel. To take advantage of the deal that Jamie just threw out, FanDuel.com/fast. That's where you need to go. FanDuel.com/fast. Kick off the NFL season this Sunday with an offer you won't want to miss. FanDuel, the official partner of the NFL.
21 and over, President Illinois. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issues non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. NFL Sunday ticket offer. It ends 9/18/23. No refunds. Terms and embargoes apply. $100 off NFL Sunday ticket. Not YouTube TV. YouTube TV base plan required to watch YouTube TV. Redemption requires a Google account and current form of payment. Commercial use excluded. Subscription renews. Cancel any time.
Time to go around the NFL with the Fastlane season preview of the NFC South.
All right, before we get to the NFC South divisional preview, the Cardinals have just announced that the Guns N' Roses concert that we have been giving away tickets for this week, unfortunately, has been postponed.
Why did the Cardinals cancel it?
Well, let me just read this. How about that? The Guns N' Roses concert scheduled for Busch Stadium tomorrow, Saturday, September 9th, has been postponed due to illness. Hang on to your tickets. The event organizer is working to reschedule the concert. You will receive an update via email as soon as the status of the event changes or the new date is announced. Please note, fans who are unable to make the rescheduled date will be eligible for a refund. So again, the Guns N' Roses concert that is set up for tomorrow has been postponed. So there you have it. According for illness.
Who's ill?
Just says illness. So.
Is that like the...
Look, guys, I don't know, okay? I don't know.
Anthony, you bring us this announcement, but you don't know anything.
Like ill as in like cool or as in sick?
That's a really good question.
You know,
As
the
in-
youth these days,
Not healthy.
like, ooh, you know,
It's time to get ill.
Yeah.
Remember the Beastie Boys?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. License to get ill.
Yeah.
People
That was
say-
the name of the album.
Yeah.
People still saying that?
No.
No?
It's been a while, actually. Marshy, I'm quite surprised that you brought that up.
Anyways, NFC South. Last two divisions we're going to do today, both South divisions, NFC, AFC South, NFC right now. Let's start off with the team that should finish in the bottom of the division. I've got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers having a top 5 pick next April.
Not me.
And Todd Bowles being fired at some point.
Nope.
Okay, so Jamie's hold off. Marsh, Tampa 4th.
You know, Jamie's kind of been on a heater lately. I kind of want to switch my pick from Tampa Bay to
I don't blame you.
to Carolina.
Well, hold on here. Is that where you're going?
I don't know. You told me to be quiet.
So Bryce Young,
I told you hold off, not be
No, you're
quiet.
just bossing me around.
Bryce Young
Stop it.
might not make it the whole season because Frank Reich, we've established,
Wants him dead.
wants him dead.
Does not like him.
Doesn't like him. Offensive line doesn't like him. Who the hell is he going to throw footballs to?
Well, Adam Thielen when he's healthy. Apparently he's not going to be healthy for week 1.
DJ Chark?
Yeah, DJ
When was the last
Chark
time
is
he
there.
was healthy?
It's been a minute for DJ Chark.
Mingo? He's a rookie.
He's a rookie.
Can't count on him.
Yeah, you got Terrence Marshall. He's there. They signed Hayden Hurst. So,
Last place for me.
okay. So you got Carolina in last?
Yes.
Jamie, who's your last place team?
Oh, Carolina.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
I just don't believe it all. And I think that Shaky Bakey's going to be just good enough to not be in last place. Todd Bowles still gets fired, but Shaky Bakey at least still has some wide receivers he can get the ball to.
He certainly does.
Can he get them to him? I don't know, but they'll be open.
All he needs to do is just dump the ball off to Rashad White and let him run. And I'm not just saying that because I have him on two of my fantasy football
there
teams.
It is. Jamie.
I know,
There
right?
it is.
And I'm not just saying that, which means I'm just saying
I'm just
that.
saying That's exactly what I'm saying is what Marshy's saying. All right, so I have the Panthers in third. I don't mind their roster.
Who?
Carolina's. I don't think it's terrible. Their defense, they signed Von Bell. They got J.C. Horn, their corner, who they took in the top 10 a couple of years ago. Brian Burns, now that he's not holding out, stud defensive end. Carolina's got some sporadic talent. They're just not going to be good enough in key spots. And you just don't know what a rookie quarterback's going to bring to the table in Bryce Young. So, I got Carolina third.
I got the Buccaneers third for the exact reason I said, is that they still have enough talent to not be dead last, but they're not nearly good enough at the quarterback position specifically to be any higher than third.
I also have Buccaneers as my third team.
I have the Falcons second.
What?
Well, you have them in the playoffs.
Second.
This is almost breaking news. Anthony has been absolutely just petting the snot out of the Falcons all.
Well, he said there'll be a wild card team.
Oh, he said they're going to win the conference too.
No, I didn't.
Yeah,
I'll
literally.
back you up. You never said that.
Thank
because
you,
that
Marsh.
I mean, you have some crazy takes.
That's
that one
what?
might be way too crazy.
This is a Friday. This is where we send Anthony home wanting to swallow his own tongue for the weekend. This
What do
is
you mean
how
this is a Friday? It's every day.
Well, yeah, but we really like Fridays. I love when you go screeching out of the parking lot.
I'm numb now to all
Hey,
this.
Anthony, I want you to have a good weekend. He's gone. He's
Middle
pissed
finger.
off. Middle
Just-
finger.
Yeah. Anyways,
To the poor lady who's walking across the parking lot.
shouldn't have been standing there. Falcons second. We just got done having the conversation about the Blues and their identity. I'll say this about the Falcons: we have no idea what the quarterback situation is gonna hold with Desmond Ridder. They know exactly who they are, though. They're going to go into every game looking to run the football, no matter how. They were down by multiple digits in the second half last year of multiple games and said, we're still running. Arthur Smith would go, run it. Run it. And now they got multiple backs. Bijan Robinson, I'm excited for. Tyler Algier had 1,000 yards rushing last year as a rookie. Cordell Patterson is still there. We'll see about Kyle Pitts and Drake London and some of their other skill position guys. Matt Collins apparently is having a good camp, but I think they're going to play in a lot of close games. They're going to give themselves a chance, and I think that based on the schedule, they're going to sneak in as the last wildcard team in the NFC. You got them win the division?
No, I have them coming in second, and I think they will be right there for that final wild card until they lose and my Minnesota Vikings snag the 7th seed, and we can walk ourselves over to Waffle House and watch you eat waffles for a full 24.
That'd be unbelievable.
It's going to be tough.
Yeah, I've got the Falcons second as well.
So we all have the Saints.
I actually debated putting them in third, but
he didn't want to hurt your feelings.
Not that good. Not
more
about
about the Bucs.
Feelings.
Literally.
Yeah. Break.
Jamie just said
nothing
a
to do with
minute
me.
ago.
Trust me.
I know Anthony screeches his car coming out of the parking lot today.
Cry yourself to sleep.
So we all have the Saints. We all have the Saints win the division.
Yeah.
I think there's.
Is that a mistake?
I don't think it's a mistake. I will say this though, there is kind of a small contingent of NFL fans that have always backed Derek Carr. Like have always said, Derek Carr, if you put a lot around him, he'll be good. He'll prove you wrong, right? There's a lot of people based on the 1 year that he had when he led the Raiders to the playoffs, and unfortunately he got hurt, so he wound up not playing in that playoff game. But there's a lot of like Derek Carr believers. Dude, you're in a bad division, in a bad conference. You finally have a defense. You've got more than enough around you offensively. Derek Carr, if you don't win this division, I don't want to hear about how good Derek Carr is, and he just needed to get out of Vegas/Oakland. I think there's some decently high, relatively high expectations for Derek Carr this year. He should lead the Saints to a division title.
Absolutely. This guy has been way better than anybody gives him credit for.
There it is.
He has been.
There it is.
Nobody. Listen, I have crapped all over the Raiders and Derek Carr, and I have given him no respect. Then when I look at his numbers compared to some of the other quarterbacks, I'm like, he's not that bad.
Don't we do the same thing with Kirk Cousins?
We do.
No, you guys crap all over him.
Yeah, but,
exactly.
But
he's got good numbers too.
If Kirk Cousins was on the Raiders, it would have been a very similar type situation. Then Kirk Cousins goes to the Vikings or goes to the Saints. I'm going to say, you know what? It's not a bad quarterback. Now you put him with a better team, better coaches. I don't know.
I think you should. I think
it's the way I feel, Anthony. I shouldn't feel so bad for having my own opinion.
Well, I wonder. You're being kind of hypocritical.
Am I really?
Yeah.
In what way?
Well, let me tell you, Jamie.
For me, please.
You were all over that texter earlier about Luke and Baker. You know what Derek Carr has been in his career? He's been the guy that hits the line drive to center field, loud out. That's what Derek Carr has been. And you were all over the texter earlier from the 636.
It's not even, you can't even
talking
compare
about Luke and Baker.
You can't.
Derek Carr in his career.
Derek Carr's career numbers.
Derek Carr in his career.
Freaking numbers, Anthony.
Yeah, he hits the ball hard.
Have you ever looked at his numbers? Once.
Win games.
Once. Have you ever?
Yeah.
When?
What do you mean when?
When have you
all
looked
the time.
at No, don't believe you at all.
I know the numbers are fine for Derek Carr.
Yeah, so then
same
what's
thing
your
with
problem?
Kirk Cousins. But we crushed Kirk Cousins. Kirky doesn't have a defense either.
I don't know. We do. You do.
What do you mean?
You
do too.
No, I don't. Not nearly as much as you do.
You laugh at me when I bring him up.
I laugh at you
Marsh.
I laugh at you when you bring up the Vikings.
That's fair.
He does nothing but crap on Kirk Cousins in prime time. Oh, look, it's a noon game.
That's true.
He'll
You
be
do
fine.
that.
Okay, but Marsh, come on.
Think about it.
Facts.
Last year we were like, we're crapping all over Kirk Cousins and the Vikings for all these one-score games, and now we're building up the Lions because they won in a 1.1 score game.
At Arrowhead.
Just admit, though,
Yeah,
prime
it's a little
time.
bit different.
they should have lost that game.
Shoulda, woulda,
Shoulda,
coulda.
coulda. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, but
they
again,
didn't.
why are we not saying the same thing about Kirk Cousins and
He's
the
back to
Vikings?
Kirk Cousins.
When
When
you brought him up,
I was trying to
I'm gonna
help
defend
you
my,
out.
I'm going to defend my Bart Starr Award winner.
You should. You know what, Andrew? You should.
What would you think if the Cardinals went this route for their starting pitching? We'll tell you what this is.
Tommy?
Well,
Probably not.
next on 101 ESPN. ESPN's parent company, Disney, has been unable to reach a market-based agreement with Charter Communications to keep its channels on their cable system and their streaming service. As a result, Spectrum TV customers have lost access to ESPN and Disney's unrivaled sports, entertainment, and family programming from the ESPN networks. The Disney-branded channels, Freeform, the FX networks, and the National Geographic channels. Customers can go to keepmynetworks.com. KeepMyNetworks.com for alternate choices, including DirecTV Stream, Hulu Plus Live TV, YouTube TV, Fubo, and more, all of which can be activated immediately without a service call. Your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. Our guy, Brandon Kiley, who you can follow online at BK Sports Talk. He had posted an Eno Saris clip or a article where he talks about how he'd fix the Cardinals. And what Eno Saris wrote from The Athletic was, how about 5 years and $75 million to Japanese right-hander Shota Imanaga? I'm probably hacked that up, but that's his name. His Japanese stats compare favorably to Yamamoto, who's most likely coming over this offseason, as well as Kodai Senga, who's pitched very well for the Mets this year. He got a contract last offseason from the Mets. So Imanaga, who's already 30, but his stuff plays, according to Eno Saris. I've never seen him pitch, but apparently, Eno Saris has broken him down, and Imanaga has pitched very well. If you couple him with Sonny Gray for less than $20 million a season, that's what Eno Saris would do in terms of fixing the Cardinals. And BK tweeted out, Eno Saris fixed the Cardinals. So our question would be, what if the Cardinals did that? What if they did that when it comes to the offseason? How would you feel?
Not great.
Because BK put this out there in like a poll on Twitter. He said, how would you feel about the Cardinals offseason? Over the moon, meh, that's fine. Underwhelmed, that's a complete failure. I would be somewhere between meh, that's fine, and underwhelmed. Probably more so underwhelmed.
I just don't like putting my faith into an unproven player. And I'm not saying that with Imaga. Mm-hmm. He might be the next Shohei Ohtani. He might not be as well. No. It's a different game over there, and the hitters are different. A lot of the hitters aren't to the level of what you're going to experience here. The game is played somewhat differently. It doesn't always translate, playing-wise, the same way. Mm-hmm. And I think that's an awful lot of money and a lot of risk for the Cardinals right now, who need certainty. So if there's another team out there that wants to do a little risk-reward thing, okay, fine. But the Cardinals, I feel like they need undeniable certainty in what they're doing with their pitching staff. And I just don't know if I want to do that with a player that I have no idea what it looks like against Major League Baseball players.
Would you be more interested? Let's further the conversation, though. Let me play devil's advocate here.
Go ahead.
Blake Snell and Aaron Nola, they're gone, right? They're off the off.
They're not going to be available.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, they're going to be available, but they're not.
I don't. This is the tricky part here, okay? Because I feel like anytime we bring this up, you're met with, well, you're the Cardinals, go out and get an ace. I mean, we can talk about that all offseason.
Yep.
Well, that could be our take. Go out and get an ace. And we're right.
Yeah, but
they should.
It's not really a take. It's a blanket statement.
Exactly. What's more realistic? The Cardinals land Nola or Snell, or Nola and Snell wind up with another team next year?
Well, if the past is the predictor of the future, then Nola and Snell will not be wearing the birds on the bat.
Exactly.
So I get what you're saying. So now,
but I feel like when we have this conversation, we start to talk about Sonny Gray, we talk about somebody else. Everybody's like, it's Nola or Snell. You guys know that they need an ace. Yeah, we know. I don't know what else to say from that standpoint.
I mean, I'm not going to back down.
We can't have a conversation.
I'm not going to back down from what I said a long time ago. I think that the Cardinals have to get one of them.
I don't disagree.
But whatever it takes. If it's overspending, it's overspending.
I don't disagree. But if Snell doesn't want to be here and Nola wants to go back to Philly, there's nothing you can do. So let's broaden the conversation. Would Imanyaga, who we're going off of Eno Sarris's kind of breakdown here, and Eno knows more about pitching than we do, but would you be more intrigued by him compared to some of these like secondary and third options on the market for the Cardinals that could be available?
So you're asking me about Sonny Gray?
No, I'm asking you about Imanyaga.
Imanyaga.
Yes.
And how much are you giving him?
5 years and $75 million. So for 5 years and $75 million.
How old is he?
He's 30.
Woof.
Stuff plays big. This is what Sarah says. The only problem is that Imanyaga is older, already 30, and shorter than both, but his stuff plays up big time. And he misses more bats than the other two, meaning Senga and Yamamoto. So he misses more bats than those two guys. And the uncertainty of bringing a pitcher over from another league offers a chance to get a bargain. So this is what I'm kind of interested in here. If it's Imanyaga for 5 years and $75 million, theoretically, Jamie, you should be able to get two more pitchers then. Sonny Gray at $20 million, and then whoever else you want.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. I still don't like it.
Because if you go Nola or Snell, you have an ace. Boom. Done. You also probably leave yourself a little shorter from a budget standpoint for 4 and 5. You know what I mean?
Yeah. There's no certainty for me in this player. And especially at 30 years old.
Yeah.
I just think this one could blow up in your face.
So could getting a couple of mediocre guys.
I know.
You know, it's an interesting thought. I wouldn't stop if I was Eno Sarris here. I wouldn't stop at just Sonny Gray. Then you got to throw in another starter.
No, you can't just go 2. You got to get 3. You got to get 3. Absolutely. I don't care who it is. You got to get 3. Even if it's a 4 or 5 starter, like you got to get 3 guys.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to wrap my brain around Imanyaga.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to wrap my brain around that. If he was 26, 27, I'd be sure. At 30, man, I just don't know.
A lot of these other free agents are going to be in that range.
I know he's a stud pitcher in the Japanese league.
Mm.
But what does that really mean? What does that really equate to? Like, so hear me out.
What if he's...
Hear me out.
Okay.
Out of all the players that play in the Japanese league, how many of them come over and have great careers? You remember the ones that do because they're so few and far between.
Mm-hmm.
That's my problem. I'm not saying they don't have good players. I'm not saying they don't play good baseball. But it's not like each team is flooded with Japanese players.
If he comes over though and he's Senga, who's also 30 by the way. So the Mets signed him last offseason. In 25 starts and 143 in a third innings, Jamie. He's got a 3.08 ERA and a FIP of 3.47.
Yeah, in the Japanese league.
No, with the Mets.
Oh, Senga. You're talking about Senga.
I'm talking about
Okay.
Senga. So if this guy is Senga next year.
What if he's not? What if he's one of the many Japanese players that have come over and absolutely does not work?
Then you're looking at a rotation of a bunch of mid-level starters.
Yeah.
I think the other thing we got to wrap our heads around is that the Cardinals have to produce an ace. They have to develop an ace. If you think of the aces that the Cardinals have had, Chris Carpenter came over from Toronto. Wainwright came in the deal, obviously, with the Braves, but they developed him.
Yeah.
Michael Walker was on track to be an ace. They drafted and developed him. I think you have to draft and develop this guy. I don't know if you're going to be able to, in a market where there's only two aces now, because Shohei Ohtani is not going to pitch next year. Julio Urias, who knows what his future is now. You've got two guys, Snell and Nola.
So we get a great text here from 314 and says, what if the Japanese pitcher is your number 4 and not your ace? Does that make you stomach the unknown better? I guess so, but it's an awfully expensive number 4. Like, and I don't care about the money. It's not my money.
Right, but
if Mr. DeWitt wants to spend $100 million on this guy, I don't care. Does it really help your team, though, when you can probably get a number 4 for a lot cheaper?
Yeah, he can't. Not for $75 million. He
You know
can't
what I
be.
mean?
Yeah, he can't be a 5 or a 4. I mean, for $75 million. Although, what is that? What is that AAV, Jamie? Let's do the quick math on that.
75 over 5?
Yeah, 15.
15.
15 million. Actually, that would be.
This would be the number 4.
Yeah.
I'm fine with it then.
All right. So that actually brings up a good point.
It really changes the game for me.
So don't focus on the 75. Focus on the 15.
Focus on the 15, and focus on the fact that the upside could be a 2, maybe a 1. I don't think that. I think that's a stretch. A 2. The downside's 4.
Yeah. Okay. It improves your rotation.
I would kick the tires.
There you go. All right. We did it. We convinced Jamie. We got there. Nice job, texter. Who was that texter from?
314.
The old 314. Nice job there, 314.
Maybe not. Hang on.
Oh.
I could be lying.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're gone.
Okay.
College football week 2. Some interesting storylines. We'll also start off with Mizzou. So we got a college football week 2 primer for you next on 101 ESPN. Well, we've been telling you about it the last couple of days here. You can go to keepmynetworks.com. Again, keepmynetworks.com for alternate choices. If you are a Spectrum TV or Charter Communications customer, you got some alternate choices when it comes to ESPN and Disney programming. So if you go to keepmynetworks.com, you got DirecTV Stream, Hulu Plus Live TV, YouTube TV, Fubo, and more. And you can do all of that without immediately having a service call. So if you don't need a service call for that, you can activate those streaming services if you are a Charter Communications or Spectrum TV customer that is missing out on ESPN and Disney programs. Again, keepmynetworks.com. Activate immediately without a service call. football week 2 actually kicks off tonight. You got a local game, essentially, with Illinois taking on Kansas. The old Illinois-Kansas game here. 6:30 kickoff tonight. Week 2 doesn't have a lot of big-time matchups, guys, but we're kind of critical somewhat of Mizzou's offense, and we all admitted, like, look, it's week 1. It's a South Dakota team that, you don't have to show a whole lot in order to beat them, and Mizzou didn't. But Middle Tennessee State, you at least step up a little bit in competition. Is there anything that Mizzou's offense can show you guys tomorrow that would change your mind a little bit, at least a little bit, when it comes to Mizzou's offense moving forward?
Yeah, less of a pop gun offense for me. Like, it's got to look real for me. And what I mean by that is it can't just be the little the shotgun, little play action, and then dump. Shotgun, dump. It's got to be like, let's run a real offense here. Mm-hmm. Let's take the top off at times. Let's get some guys downfield with some accuracy. Let's spread the ball around to different levels offensively. So you've got your little 5, 6 yard, 7 yard plays, but then you're going for the 15 yard, and every now and then throw in a 25 to 30. You need to mix it up for me to believe that this offense has the ability to do bigger, better things. If you don't mix it up or you're not willing to, it tells me 2 things. One, your play calling sucks, or your players can't do it. Mm-hmm. And if the players can't do it, your problem's bigger than the play calling at that point. Show me that Brady Cook can do it. Show me that some of these guys can make these plays. Because right now you're not even letting them try.
Right.
You're not. And teams now, good defensive teams, even teams that are not great, that have good defenses, are going to clue in here. They're going to swallow these guys up and spit them out. Mm-hmm. And then you got an offense that doesn't know what to do because they're either unprepared with the systems or unable because they're not good enough.
Yep.
So I need to see different levels of offense, meaning like yardage-wise, to show me that this offense at least has the creativity from a systems standpoint or play calling standpoint and has the ability athletically to execute it.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I'd like to see Mizzou stretch the football down the field. I think that's pretty standard for what we want to see, right? If they can move the football down the field, more than 30 yards, please. And I would like to see them just, score more points. Alabama put up 56 last week against Middle Tennessee, so you know that this team, it isn't great by any means, but if Mizzou wants to prove that they can hang with the big boys of the SEC, I need to see something similar.
Yeah, they can't.
I'm with Jamie. You said it.
Yeah, they can't.
We were thinking it.
I'm with Jamie in terms of the offense. Let's, anybody say, well, Brady Cook this, Brady Cook that. Regardless of what you think of Brady Cook, he in one game thus far, because we got a new OC here, so new play caller. In one game, he wasn't asked to do anything. So
really?
Against an easier opponent where you should be experimenting. I know you don't want to open up the playbook, but that's like a scrimmage that you have available to you to try some things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so are you going to ask Brady Cook to make a couple of reads? Are you going to ask him to make a couple of evaluation throws? He had one last week. That was it. One where it's like he held the linebacker, held the safety over top, dotted the receiver for the first touchdown of the game. Other than that, there was no evaluation throws. I don't care that most of the offenses in the nation right now are basically RPOs and smoke screens. Not to the level of what Mizzou did last week, and not to the level of what we've seen this Mizzou team has done for a couple of years now offensively. And Jamie, to your point about the SEC, and then last week, you could say, well, you don't want to open up the playbook. Do you really want to be in a spot against, forget an SEC opponent, how about Kansas State next week? Do you really want to be in a spot where you have to where the game turns into a drop-back passing game, and you don't know if Cook can kill a defense on a smash concept, can kill a defense over the middle, can kill a defense on the outer hashes? Not practice, but in a game. Do you want to be in that spot? Because by that point, it's too late. So I hope they open up the offense a little bit this week. Texas and Bama. That's the marquee matchup. Texas number 11, Alabama number 3. Last year, Texas should have beat Alabama. Really, they should have. But
there's a misholding call. I'll say it right now. Misholding call on Bryce Young.
And Sam Ewers
and a missed tackle.
Was banged up. But you don't see. To me, I think Alabama. I don't give Texas much of a shot to pull off the upset this week.
No.
This Texas roster is talented, but you could tell last week, without Bijan Robinson, this Texas offense looks dramatically different. So I think that with what Alabama did last week, I don't think they're going to hang 56 on Texas's defense like they did Middle Tennessee State. But I think that Alabama wins this game 10 or more points. Do you guys give any chance for Texas?
No, not to win the game. No. What's the
7.5
spread? 7.5.
Alabama's laying 7.5.
Yeah.
They're favored by 7.5.
Well, I figured that. No, still Bama. I think they win by 10, like you said.
In Tuscaloosa, last year it was in Texas, so they have a little bit of the home field advantage there. That's why that game was close, in my opinion. And Alabama was very undisciplined in that game. A ton of penalties. I think Nick Saban will have that team ready to go. They'll be disciplined this time around. Like you said, they don't have Bijan Robinson. I think this will be a welcome. I know they're not in the SEC just yet, but this will be a welcome to the SEC, Texas. We're going to smash your face in. Mm-hmm. And that stinks. I like Texas. Like you said, I like the jerseys. I grew up a Vince Young fan, but I don't see them. I don't see them winning this game. And I think what Jamie said last week or 2 weeks ago when we talked about it, Texas will, they'll hang around here in the top 25. They'll be a 2-loss team, whatever. They'll find a way to lose a few games at the end of the year. I think this is one of those losses.
All right, we'll wrap it up on this. There aren't many big-time matchups this weekend on the college football Week 2 schedule. Which game are you intrigued by, though?
Ooh.
Besides Texas, Alabama, besides the local games from the zoo. For you, is it Deion hosting Nebraska?
Deion. It has to be Deion, although I don't know if it's a very riveting game against Nebraska, to be honest. I don't look at that and go, ooh, that's another dragon they can slay.
No.
I mean, it's a team that, quite honestly, straight up, they should beat them. I know they're favored now. They weren't before last week, but of course, yes. Yes, the Deion game is always something right now that I want to check out. Apart from that, there's really not a lot that really gets me going. I want to see how Clemson responds.
Oof.
They dropped substantially in the rankings. I want to see just how they respond to that. They shouldn't have any problem. They're playing a nobody team. I forget who the hell they're playing, but they're playing Charleston Southern.
Yeah, you can't look past Charleston Southern. They're there's not even a line.
I'm also eyeballing the New Hampshire game.
You are, huh?
Yeah.
Who's New Hampshire playing?
Oh, Fire Up Chips, Central Michigan.
Hey. CMU's got to bounce back. Rough one in East Lansing the other night. All right, Marsh, what game?
Other than the Colorado game, that's definitely big. Unfortunately, I won't be able to watch it. I'm going to the Mizzou game. This weekend.
Have fun.
I'm going to be a Mizzou Tiger for the day.
I like it.
And then Monday.
Would you like to borrow my swimwear?
No. One game that kind of intrigues me, though, is the Utah-Baylor game. Let's see if Baylor can bounce back after a loss. Utah won pretty handedly against Florida with their backup quarterback. So,
Florida.
Man, what a disaster they are.
Yeah.
So I think that's the game that I'll be slightly intrigued. But you're right. There's not a ton of games. I'm looking at the list right here. Not a ton of games that really stand out that I'm like, whoa, I really need to check that game out.
Can't miss TV.
The only other game that's slightly intriguing, it's in that early window on Saturday, so tomorrow, Notre Dame and NC State. So Notre Dame looked great against, Navy, which they should look great, and that was the Dublin game, and then they played Tennessee State. NC State has a really good front. Their defensive line, their front seven's really good. So I'm kind of intrigued to watch Hartman, that Notre Dame offense, see what they could do against their first kind of real opponent defensively. It's a Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. We do have Matt Holliday coming up in about 15 minutes. So Matt Holliday was talking a little baseball with him. But we got this question earlier today in the office. I think Rockio posted. Is Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce good enough to win on their own? That's next on 101 ESPN. ESPN's parent company Disney has been unable to reach a market-based agreement with Charter Communications to keep its channels on their cable system and their streaming service. As a result, Spectrum TV customers have lost access to ESPN and Disney's unrivaled sports, entertainment, and family programming for the ESPN networks, the Disney-branded channels, Freeform, the FX networks, and the National Geographic channels. Customers can go to keepmynetworks.com for alternate choices, including DirecTV Stream, Hulu Plus Live TV, YouTube TV, Fubo, and more, all of which can be activated immediately without a service call.
Selling your home is a big deal, and now is definitely not the time for anyone to sell their home with just any average agent. You want someone who can get you to the closing table, get your home sold for the most money possible. That's why you have to call Gloria Liu with your home sold guaranteed realty. Gloria has mastered the art of selling homes, and she's got great options available to you. You've heard me talk about this before, but guaranteed sales. I mean, who doesn't love guaranteed sales? And that right there is where Gloria will sit down with you and agree upon a sales price, and she'll sell your home for that exact price, or she buys it herself. And she guarantees that in handwriting. Also, Gloria has buyers available to you. She's got a database with thousands of ready, willing, and able buyers. And what that does, it pushes a lot more traffic to your listing, creating that higher demand and hopefully more money for you at the end of all of it. So all you have to do is pick up the phone, call Gloria Liu today, tell her Jamie Rivers sent you in. And that number is 314-325-6888. Again, 314-325-6888. Or you can visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. Conditions do apply. Gloria and the seller must agree on the price and possession date.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Soliga Heating and Cooling. The Cards lose to the Braves last night by a final score of 8-5. Adam Wainwright still looking for win number 199. The Cards are back in action tonight, taking on the Reds. It's Drew Rahm going up against Andrew Abbott. First pitch is at 5:40. Last night, the Lions took down the Chiefs in the NFL season opener, 21-20. Are Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce, are they good enough to win on their own? We're going to dive into that next right here in the Fast Lane. I'm Andrew Marsh, and this Sports Center update is brought to you by Soliga Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer. Mike Tirico, NBC Sports on the call last night as the Chiefs fall to the Detroit Lions 21-20. Jamie had the ultimate call. The Chiefs fall to the Detroit Lions 21-20.
Yes.
Dan Campbell and Jamie, two of the happiest individuals in America.
I want to have beers with Dan Campbell.
I know you do.
When I go up to Detroit during Blues season, it's a personal mission of mine to cross paths with Dan Campbell.
You're just going to roam around Royal Oak just screaming his name.
I'm going to figure out a way, Anthony. There's got to be somebody I know that knows him.
Yeah. Your connections.
Especially in Detroit.
Mm-hmm. True. So we got this question. I think was it Rocchio that posed this to us, Marsh? I think it was Matt Rocchio, morning show producer. Yeah, Matt Rocchio, the gatekeeper of markers around this studio. Yeah, he posed the question in the office if Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce, are they good enough to win on their own? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Now, it's a team game, so you won't be winning on your own. Mm-hmm. You know, the offensive line was outstanding last year in the Super Bowl. You still have Andy Reid calling your plays. Kadarius Toney had a brutal night last night, as Mike Tirico pointed out. I thought Kadarius Toney was the Lions' best player last night, in fact. But Kadarius Toney helped them win a couple of playoff games last year, helped them in the Super Bowl as well. They've got sporadic talent, but if you have Travis Kelce and you have Patrick Mahomes and you have Andy Reid, yeah, of course. Of course the Chiefs can win with that. Yeah. Chris Jones being out defensively hurts, but that is a really young defense that I think under Steve Spagnuolo's, guidance will get better throughout the year. And at some point, whether it's next week or week 8, Chris Jones will be back. But if you have Mahomes and Travis Kelce, you have a pretty good start. We have seen teams win with less.
Oh, yeah.
So if you have Mahomes, last night, I thought Kansas City's offense was completely out of rhythm for most of that game. Still had an opportunity to win it.
Well, let's just be honest, okay? I obviously, I love that the Lions won. But in the last couple of drives down the field, if Patrick Mahomes has Travis Kelce, the Chiefs win that game. The middle of the field at times was wide open. Mm-hmm. The Lions, I don't know what they were doing defensively. It ended up working, but only because you got guys who couldn't catch football. It's the bottom line.
Yeah,
if those routes are designed to where Travis Kelce's the guy that's designed to be open, you're money. You're in, not just in field goal range. You might be up by a touchdown. Mm-hmm. It's the bottom line. That's it. And some of the plays and some of the trick plays and some of the fourth down plays and some of the things that they did in other, those are areas that are designed for Travis Kelce to get the ball. They had to change the plan, and it didn't work.
Yep.
So are Mahomes and Kelce enough, along with Andy Reid, to get this team into a serious discussion of getting at least to the conference final? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, they are.
And credit the Lions. And the Lions the Lions had a couple of things blow up on them too. Remember I don't know if it was the first quarter or the second quarter when the snap hit, I think it was our guy Sam Laporta. When Laporta was in motion, it wound up hitting him, and
Yeah.
Jared Goff had to dive on it. I mean, that was they were deep in Kansas City territory at that point. So they they had some self-inflicted wounds too. It wasn't just Kansas City. Overall, though, for the first game of the season, Jamie, I know a lot of people were hoping for kind of a back and forth, high-scoring affair. The total was like 52, 53. I thought that was a well-played game. I thought it was physical. Both teams did a pretty good job against the run. Detroit definitely more so than Kansas City, but I thought both teams were flying around. The linebackers for the Lions were excellent. Jack Campbell made a couple of big plays. Anzalone, former Saints linebacker, was great in coverage. Aiden Hutchinson gave Taylor all he could handle at times. Taylor to the point where he looked like he was jumping off sides or false start, I should say, several times. Kind of held his own, but I thought the Lions played well. And that offense can play better. That offense at some point is going to get in a rhythm.
Isn't it crazy how the Detroit offense is driven by Jared Goff?
Yeah.
And this is the guy that couldn't play for Sean McVay?
I think he could play. And I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying.
It's not that I'm saying, Anthony, the whole world knew that Sean McVay was going to trade Jared Goff or get rid of him. He needed a quarterback.
I think he couldn't elevate Sean McVay's offense. I think that's why they eventually said we have to get somebody else.
Well, the Lions' offense outscored Sean McVay's offense last year.
Shaky Bakey.
I don't care.
Was playing on
Matthew Stafford too.
A day. He got cut, and Shaky Bakey was their quarterback for a second.
Anthony, I'm just saying. I think that Jared Goff doesn't maybe get the respect he deserves.
I think that's fair.
I mean, he did get to a Super Bowl.
Yeah,
he did, but got to a Super Bowl. And last year was the quarterback behind a really good offense.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's time to maybe go, okay, I'm not saying it's Tom Brady or Jared Goff. I understand it here. But Jared Goff's probably better than what people have said.
Jared Goff is a rhythm quarterback.
He's 2-0 against Patrick Mahomes.
He is, you're right.
That's all you need to know.
He owns that guy.
He is the Eli Manning.
Yeah, Tom Brady. Yeah, good call. I think that Jared Goff I think this offense is tailor-made for Jared Goff. The offensive line for Detroit is outstanding. They like to run the ball, and that's key for Jared Goff because he lives off play action. When he gets into a rhythm, he can be a very good point guard for them. And they've got some receivers. Amon-Ra St. Brown being the number one guy. He's the best slot receiver in the game. And Goff kind of lives in that middle area. And you could tell when he started to get going with Amon-Ra St. Brown last night in that first quarter after the fake punt, that Lions offense could hum. And Gibbs has got a lot of speed. Montgomery did a nice job in between the tackles, I thought, last night. Scored the one touchdown. Detroit's good.
Yeah.
They're good. And they're going to give you their best effort every single week.
Well, that's for sure. Or Dan Campbell's going to just beat the crap out of them.
Yeah.
Anthony, can I take a second to address something here on the text line?
Sure.
From the 636. It's nothing to do with football. This is Guns N' Roses tickets. Somebody text says, oh, no, how does this work now? We won tickets to Guns N' Roses, and now it's postponed. We're being told by all sources to hang on to those tickets.
Yeah.
That could be a different date released or something down the road. But hang on to those tickets for now. If you won those tickets from us here at 101 ESPN or Hubbard Radio, just hang on to them. Further instructions will be coming down the road.
Yeah, to Jamie's point there, the Guns N' Roses concert has been postponed. Not canceled, postponed. Yeah. So hang on to the tickets. Fans who are unable to make the rescheduled date, whenever the rescheduled date's going to be, will be eligible for a refund. So they'll repost when they're going to do it. It might be, I don't want to speculate. If you have tickets, like Jamie said, hold on to those tickets. They'll release a new date. And if you can't make it, then you'll be eligible for a refund. Matt Holliday talking a little baseball with us next in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. ESPN's parent company Disney has been unable to reach a market-based agreement with Charter Communications to keep its channels on their cable system and their streaming service. You may have gotten that note on your TV over the last couple of days and, may have ticked you off like our guy Jamie here. I don't blame you. As a result, Spectrum TV customers have lost access to ESPN and Disney's unrivaled sports, entertainment, and family programming from the ESPN networks, the Disney-branded channels, Freeform, the FX networks, and the National Geographic channels. Customers can go to keepmynetworks.com for alternate choices that include DirecTV Stream, Hulu Plus Live TV, YouTube TV, Fubo, and more, all of which can be activated immediately without a service call.
Batting for the fast lane, Cardinals Hall of Famer and fifth member, Matt Holliday. We're hanging with Holliday on 101 ESPN.
Powered by Air Alliance Team Heating and Cooling. Getting the job done quickly, correctly, 100% of the time.
Matt has had a great time over the last few years with Brad Thompson, Jamie Rivers, and Anthony Stalter. Today, Brad Thompson is not here anymore. He does Cardinals games on Valley. Jamie Rivers was already out. Anthony Stalter has a car accident. So it's Danny Mac, Jay Delsing, former PGA pro, and Randy Carricker. Matt, we're sorry that we aren't putting you in your normal comfort zone today. How you doing?
I'm good, and I'm pretty comfortable with you guys. Feel like this might be a bit of an upgrade.
What?
Whoa!
Is this the stuff that happens when we're not around?
Wow.
I thought we were bros. Wow.
Hey.
Matt.
Well, you guys aren't supposed to tape the show. You say that to make the fill-ins feel better.
But I don't know. I don't feel better, though, Matt.
Matt, it still hurts.
Wow. I didn't know it was going to hurt this much.
I went on to talk about how great Jamie's banana hammock is.
Yeah.
You guys cut it off.
So Matt, you were misquoted.
Yes. You guys, when you take bits and pieces out of a comment, you can make it, whatever narrative you're trying to paint.
That honestly makes sense what Matt is saying. What's up, bud? How are you?
I'm doing all right. I'm in Virginia Beach. I'm here to watch Jackson play tonight. So Ethan and I went and watched batting practice, and then we were supposed to go to the hotel to meet up with Leslie and our littlest Reed, and I put the wrong address in the Uber, and so we're at another Marriott, and so sometimes details are important. You know what I mean? Like, apparently there's more than one Marriott in Virginia Beach close to the water. So
who knew?
Who knew?
Well, one, Virginia Beach is a nice spot to be. Two, congratulations to Jackson getting the call up already at 19 years old. But three, Matt, what happened with the hotel room? They wouldn't give him a hotel room because he's too young? Is that why you and Leslie are down there right now? You had to sign up for the young lad to have somewhere to stay?
Well, they sent him to a hotel, and I guess it wasn't all that safe or nice, or it wasn't a great spot. So he decided, like an adult, to go to another hotel. And when he got to this nicer, more safe hotel, he went to check in, I guess, and they said, he said, I paid for it online. And they said, well, you can buy a hotel room at 18, but you can't check in unless you're 21. And he said, well, I'm not that. So they said, well, why are you here? And he said, well, I just got called up to Norfolk, and I need somewhere to stay. And they said, well, I think we'll let you in tonight. So they stayed there, and then the next day they got it kind of figured out. They went to another hotel that kind of gave them the same problem, but the team called, and so it was a little bit of just kind of trying to have to figure out how to get in and out of things when you're only 19. And apparently you can do a lot of things in this country at 18, but checking into a hotel room is not one of them.
Yeah, that's wild. Well, I mean, I guess it's always a good sign when you're so young and you're being called up so quickly. But just out of curiosity, the first hotel he went to, you can just tell me yes or no. Was it called the James Madison Hotel?
I don't know what it was.
Well, the reason I ask, Matt, is because when I was playing in the minors a long time ago, we played against a team in Norfolk, and they'd stick us at this James Madison Hotel. And one, some of the doors couldn't lock, and two, there was enough gap underneath certain doors where people could get on their knees and look underneath and grab things from your room.
Whoa.
It was an interesting spot. So I was hoping that that's not where they originally sent Jackson.
There is some amazing minor league stories. I have some similar minor league hotel stories as that. So I don't think it was that bad, but it was definitely not somewhere he was comfortable, being 19. And so, yes, no, I don't think it was that, but it was, I guess, sketchy.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the minor league stories are certainly gold. I told these guys not too long ago that the days in Baltimore was not a great place. We, about 2 o'clock in the morning, there was somebody running down the hall shooting at somebody else. And yeah, it was great. And their advice to us was, well, just don't open your door.
It's good advice.
That's why you hockey guys are a different breed. That's why you guys, when you get there, you're tougher than the rest of us.
Guns are tougher than us, though.
Matt Holliday joining us right now on the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. All right, Matt, you kind of intrigued me now. So, what was the weirdest minor league story, hotel-wise?
We stayed at some there was one in San Antonio, like a Motel 6 or a Super 8, that was, just not great. Just really, you're sleeping and, you're doubling up and, it's just, it smells and you find stuff and, you just deal with it. I guess you don't know any better, but it's come a long way. I can tell you that from where they take much better care of him nowadays. But mostly dirty stuff, that gross, just not clean.
Yeah.
I didn't have any shootings in the hallway, but we stayed in El Paso at a place right along the highway where we weren't all that comfortable one year, and then so that was probably one of the sketchier ones.
When it comes to when you got to the big leagues and you started having a lot of success, were you one of those guys that used an alias?
Yeah, we always used to use aliases more so out of like fun and who when you pick up your envelope when you check in. So just more out of, not because people were calling us all the time if you used your regular name, but more out of, not that they wouldn't. I do think that can happen, but we would just do it kind of messing around.
Sure.
So, we always had aliases.
Was yours Jamie Rivers?
Should have been.
I wish I would have been.
That phone would have been ringing, baby.
I used Kenny Powers for a while.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Chaz Michaels from Will Ferrell in that skating movie. Chaz Michaels.
Oh yeah, Blades of Glory.
Blades of Glory.
Yeah.
Wow,
yeah.
That's
My wife loved it because they'd be like, you call the front desk or room service, and they'd be like, "Yes, Mrs. Michaels."
That's phenomenal. So no bad stories on the road with like opposing fans, then, huh?
No, I wish I had something. Nothing really. No.
No fire alarms or anything like that.
I don't think so. The Yankees carried 2 giant security guards. So
did they?
Yeah. So they were always at the bottom of the elevator waiting. So. We were definitely secure there.
That's good then. They're the Yankees. They do things right.
Yeah. You gotta play for the Yankees, though.
You did not in Baltimore, unfortunately.
No, I wish I would have had the Yankees there with me.
Matt, what a ride here for you guys as a family and for Jackson. So what do you think is kind of the immediate future for Jackson? Like, what are the Orioles kind of telling him when it comes to?
If you pick it up too. Hold on, we're catching an Uber.
Okay.
We're always on the move.
Yeah, no, it's important. You can't.
Yeah, just make sure we're in the right car again. We continue to mess this up. So.
Yeah, no problem.
I got the door, bud. Thanks. Sorry, go ahead. What was the question, Anthony?
For Jackson, what are the Orioles telling him in terms of what he's working on now at this next level?
Yeah, I think just the exposure to a little bit older group of people. Obviously, a pitching group of pitchers that have mostly at least had a little bit of major league experience. So he's, I think one step closer, and maybe the level of play is a little bit sharper, a little bit crisper, and just kind of I think just continuing to play high level games and get experience around older guys, and so I think that's probably the main thing.
Matt, that's exactly where I was going to go. He's 19 years old, and there are a lot of guys that are older on the team. What are the challenges for Jackson right now as a 19-year-old coming in, obviously highly touted prospects, got tons of ability. The future looks really bright for him. But there is an age gap there, and there are guys that have been putting in their time, and there's always a social aspect to all of it, too. How's he doing?
I think the good thing about the AA team that he was on, it was a lot of the guys that he had got drafted with, and so they were pretty close. So he knows a few of the guys on the AAA team pretty well that he met in spring training. So that's been good. He's got a couple guys that I think he feels pretty comfortable around. But you know how it is. It's like you said. But I think the one advantage he has is he's always grown up in a clubhouse of older guys and knows kind of the pecking order and kind of how to. Respectfully, know his place. He's not loud. He's not abrasive. He's just a kid that likes to play baseball. And I think that he doesn't talk a lot and keeps his mouth shut and all the things that I think, veteran players are, sometimes a little bit salty AAA players, would not like. I think he knows to kind of stay away from those kind of things. So he's definitely had an advantage in being around the game a long time to know, how to be an adult.
Dunk used to talk about that all the time. Him and Shelley growing up in the clubhouse with Dave, obviously, and he felt as though that he kind of grew up in that, and then when he got to the clubhouse, he knew what was, as you mentioned, the pecking order of things. But Matt, we know that you're trying to figure out the Uber directions and things like that. We appreciate you coming on, man. Have a great weekend. You guys enjoy this weekend with Jackson, and we'll talk to you next week.
All right, guys. Sounds good.
All right, thanks, Matt. See ya. Matt Holliday here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. I feel like a lot of that's good that he as a big leaguer didn't have a lot of issues. He played in the big leagues for a long time. Didn't have any issues on the road. I feel like you're always hearing stories about, especially like the playoffs. You get some of these fan bases that know where the opposing team is.
When playoffs come, teams carry security.
I feel like this still happens.
Even like the
though.
Blues and stuff, they travel at security.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they have everybody like on the same floor. So
kind of know. Yeah.
You need the card.
Makes
swipe
sense.
it. Nowadays.
Sure.
When I broke into the league, it was obviously very different. We didn't have cell phones.
Mm-hmm.
And so like people could call your room and mess with you and stuff. Like when we had Gretz here, actually having Gretz made things easier because he had security that traveled with him all the time.
Sure.
And his alias, he used to travel under an alias. I'm not going to disclose it because I think he still uses the same alias. But we used to think that was funny as the young kids. So we started going down to the front desk and changing our names and stuff. It's kind of like Matt did, just to make it feel like we're like as cool as Wayne Gretzky.
Of course.
Of course we weren't.
What was yours?
I had a whole bunch of them. I like Reggie Dunlop a lot.
Okay.
It's from the movie Slapshot.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He had a lot of
nice.
different names. Axel Foley. Yeah, oh, yeah.
Is that Lethal Weapon?
No, that's Beverly Hills Cop.
Beverly Hills Cop. That's right. That's right. Axel Foley.
Reggie Hammond.
Yeah.
From 48 Hours.
Yeah. That's good stuff.
They feel like, what?
What is going
and
on
our
here?
PR guy, our guy who travel, because we go down and change the list, and sometimes they call ahead and change and be like, who the hell is this guy? And then he caught on.
Yeah.
It was kind of a joke.
That's Jamie. Jamie Rivers, Anthony Stalter's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. We got the Gauntlet next.
Typically, we talk about Jamie's banana hammock and, Brad's, a lot of Brad's issues. So I feel like this feels a little bit more professional.
Well, ESPN wants to get this message out. Disney does too, that the two companies, the parent company, one company, I should say, ESPN's parent company being Disney, try to reach an agreement with Charter Communications, unable to do so. And as a result, Spectrum TV customers have lost access to ESPN and Disney's unrivaled sports, entertainment, and family programming from the ESPN networks, from the Disney branded channels, Freeform, the FX networks, and the National Geographic channels. But customers can go to keepmynetworks.com. There you could choose DirecTV Stream, Hulu Plus Live TV, YouTube TV, Fubo, and more. And you could do so, activate all of them immediately without even making a service call.
categories, 1 challenger. Can you master the gauntlet?
Brought to you by Master, your hometown source for business communications for more than 30 years. Visit masstour.com.
4:05, your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler with Andrew Marsh and Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter, and we welcome in Ryan, who's our latest contestant in the Gauntlet today. What's up, Ryan?
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Doing great, man. First time in the Gauntlet or no?
Second time. First time, I think Jamie smoked me when we were on Gauntlet version 1.
Okay. All right. Got it. So, revenge then on Jamie?
I think I'm going to do some revenge.
Okay, there you go.
He's coming after me?
Yeah, he's coming after you. Apparently, you smoked him in Gauntlet 1.0. So.
Well, yeah, that was hockey.
Right. Well, could be hockey again.
Could be, but what if it isn't, Anthony?
Well, then maybe Ryan's got the revenge
Ryan's
factor.
got it out for me. Wow, on a Friday, too. All right, Ryan. Good luck, buddy.
Oh, Ryan, you still there?
Yep, I'm here.
All right, there we go. All right, Jamie's going to make his way into the cone of silence. Ryan, go ahead and tell Marsh to spin that wheel.
Spin that wheel, Marsh.
What are you hoping for, Ryan? What category?
Against Jamie, I think I'm going to go random, just because I knew all the snake questions a few weeks ago.
Okay, there you go. Were you somebody, be honest, that was like, it's venomous, not poison? Poisonous.
No, because I always thought it was poisonous.
Okay, all right. I mean, you knew either way. Like, come on.
Right.
Good news. Am I looking at that correctly? You are random. You got random. You called it out. Normally the wheel does the exact opposite of what you want, but the wheel came up random today. So here's how this works. Ryan and Jamie get the same 4 questions. They're all random today. Each question is worth 2 points unless Ryan or Jamie ask for the options. If they do, those questions are worth 1 point. Ryan, are you ready? Okay, question number 1. Hurricane Adelia hit the east coast of the U.S. at the end of August. What was the name of the hurricane that hit the west coast in mid-August?
Shoot. Well, I'll give you options.
Hurricane Hillary, Hurricane Henry, or Hurricane Hermine?
Hillary. Final answer.
Question number 2. What connects muscles to bones?
Tendons. Final answer.
Question number 3, Ryan. What currency is used in Germany? What currency is used in Germany?
I think it's the euro. Yeah, I'm going to go euro. Final answer.
Question number 4. A is the first letter of the alphabet that looks the same in the mirror. What is the second?
Okay. B, C, D, H. Final answer.
It's a unique question. I kind of like that one.
Interesting.
I never would have thought of it that way. All right, we're going to motion in Jamie from the cone of silence. Ryan, how you feeling?
Yeah, it can go either way.
Okay.
You know?
All right.
I mean, I figured some of those were not worthy of options because they can only be, for the letters, there's only a few options there.
Sure.
So,
all right, well, Jamie's back in the studio, Ryan. I don't want to cut you off. I just don't want him getting any sort of hints or anything, all right?
Are we good before I put my ears in?
You are good now.
All right.
Yeah. All right. Jamie, how was the cone of silence?
Not great today, honestly.
Wow.
Not great today.
Wow.
Mike Ryder's distracted.
It's working?
Yeah.
Jeez.
And there's no music.
Wow.
I'm confused because I just received 12 tickets to the Cardinals game next Friday.
Yeah?
I have no idea from who or why.
You just received them, huh?
Yeah, they're through my email.
Nice.
Congratulations, 12. They're good
Nice.
seats.
We get
I
to
think
go,
they're good
Anthony.
seats. Marshy, you know the stadium pretty well, right?
For sure.
Section 136.
136. I'm thinking that might be down third base, maybe. I think the 140 to 160 is first base.
Jamie, you're welcome.
I could be completely off on that one.
Hope you enjoy the game.
Yeah, it's just weird.
I could be completely off.
Okay. Are you ready?
No.
Good.
I'm trying to figure this out.
Jamie, your category today is random.
Oh, God. Okay.
And you better pack a lunch. Here we go. Question number 1. Hurricane Adelia hit the east coast of the U.S. at the end of August. What was the name of the hurricane that hit the west coast in mid-August?
Yeah, options, please.
Hurricane Hillary, Hurricane Henry, Hurricane Hermine.
Henry, final answer.
Question number 2. What connects muscles to bones?
Tendons. Final answer.
Question number 3. What currency is used in Germany?
The Deutschmark. Final answer. Or Deutsch.
Question number 4. A is the first letter of the alphabet that looks the same in the mirror. What is the second?
Sorry, go back. Because I was still thinking about Germany. I think you're going to have a problem with that question because you also use the euro over there. And the Deutschmark.
So question number 4.
Okay.
A is the first letter of the alphabet that looks the same in the mirror.
Yeah.
What is the second?
M. Final answer.
Okay. Let's go over these. What connects muscles to bones? Ryan, you said tendons. Jamie, you said tendons. Correct answer is
tendons.
Yeah, so neither of you guys needed the options on that one, so we got a 2-2 tie. What currency is used in Germany? Ryan, you went with euros. Jamie, you went with
Deutschmarks.
Deutschmarks.
Yeah.
Correct answer is?
Well, the sheet says euros, but I will not push back on Jamie knowing what
I'm going to give it to you both.
Yeah.
We'll give it to you.
So 2-2. Ryan, I think that's only fair. So,
I mean, I knew it right away.
Yeah. So, Ryan, you did not use the options on euros. Jamie, you did not use the options there on the Deutschmark.
Deutschmark.
So, you guys got a 2-2 tie there as well. So 4-4 overall between Jamie and Ryan. A is the first letter. Actually, let's do the first question here. Hurricane Adelia hit the east coast of the U.S. at the end of August. What was the name of the hurricane that hit the west coast in mid-August?
No idea.
Jamie, you took the options. You went Hurricane Henry. Ryan, you took the options. You went Hurricane Hillary. Correct answer is
Hurricane Hillary.
Oh, damn it.
So Ryan's got a 1-point lead. Comes down to this. Neither of you used the options on this question. You both have different answers. A is the first letter of the alphabet that looks the same in the mirror. What is the second?
Oh, damn it.
Jamie, you went with M.
Yeah, but I comes before M.
Which caused me to go, uh-oh, and then I reread the question.
Are we capitalized or not?
I was going to ask the same thing.
Yeah, we're capitalized.
Okay, so then...
So you went with M.
H would be... All right, go ahead.
Ryan went with H.
Yeah, of course he did.
Ryan.
Attaboy.
You have chosen wisely.
We might add some controversy there, but Jamie, you kind of picked up on what you did. It is H.
Yeah, I
which
got it
follows
wrong.
A.
No controversy.
All right. Well, I was a little bit worried about the Deutschmark.
Well,
there, but
Grant always tuning in to make sure if he still has a job after the Gauntlet. He texted me. This is from Google. Germany only uses euros. Since 2002, it no longer uses the Deutschmark. Deutschmark bills and coins can be exchanged for euros at federal bank locations in Germany.
Okay, so I'm going to take away 2 points from Jamie.
Sure.
And he had 2 points. Ryan was 7.
Yeah, that's fine.
It was an absolute bloodbath. Ryan, nice job, man. Well done. Congrats.
Thanks. Redemption feels good on Jamie.
I'm sure.
I bet it does. Eh, Ryan? I bet it does.
I mean, you ran up the score, too.
I didn't like that.
Wow.
Thought you could have held back a little bit, but, whatever.
Nice job. So, Ryan, you get to celebrate all weekend, and then on Monday...
You better celebrate.
You can come back and take on either Marsh or me. Sound good?
Sounds great.
All right, congrats,
good
Ryan.
job, Ryan.
Have a good weekend.
Thanks, guys. You too. See ya.
There's a couple of people that come on the Gauntlet, and after the first round, you're like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
Ryan is one of them.
Oh, yeah.
Like he needed the options on the one, but then he goes, yep, that's right. It's Hurricane
I got a
Hillary.
little too quick on the Deutschmark thing.
He was quick to tendons, euros, H. Like he had the answers.
Good for him.
Like it was
man.
Grant
You know
we were
what?
talking
And he
to.
knew Hillary, too. Needed the
That's what I'm
options.
saying, yeah.
Still wouldn't have known that, even with the options.
All right, well done there.
Very well done.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, we have a full weekend to prepare
for
and
everything.
and just get locked in.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, Jamie, some would say, I'm not saying it, but some are saying that he mailed that one in. He was
For
so
sure.
quick with that. Just
Well, he was so preoccupied with these 12
Yeah, you got Cardinals tickets, and it's like, I'll just
more
mail
like 10
in the
because,
Gauntlet.
we'll be going too.
Sure, yeah.
Well, I'm confused because, Anthony, I don't know if it's public yet, but on the 18th, the Cardinals have asked me to throw out the first pitch at the Cardinals game.
Yes.
So for that game, I have requested 12 tickets.
But this
one is on the 15th.
Okay.
And so I'm talking with people trying to figure out who sent me 12 tickets.
Yeah.
We got to the bottom of it. There's just a little bit of a clerical mistake. So.
Okay, well, good.
So you get 24 tickets.
No. I think what they're going to do is
probably
cancel
could
the
get
ones
24.
for the Friday.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to show Ollie my stuff on the 18th. I'm going to let
not
him
a
know
bad
that
idea.
I can throw strikes.
Yeah, good call, Jamie.
I'm in there at, 80, 85. Should be good for this rotation.
We laugh, but
What?
it would.
138 is on the first base side. So I was wrong.
I thought it was 136. Either way, probably
Either
still
way,
on the
it's
first.
still over there. Still on the same side.
All right,
I
Jamie.
can't believe they didn't give me green seats, really.
Well, yeah.
I mean, I see them on TV. There's plenty available.
Well, Jamie, I'm glad that you got the ticket stuff figured out. I don't know why you
text message.
Jamie,
Based on those comments, first pitch canceled.
Yep, there you go. And the tickets are gone now. Jamie, congrats on the tickets. I don't know why you had to punt the Gauntlet.
I didn't.
Anyways, has Tommy Edman solidified himself as the starting center fielder moving forward? That's next on 101 ESPN. If you have Charter or Spectrum TV, you need to go to keepmynetworks.com because they have ESPN and Disney. They have alternate choices for you after, of course, ESPN's parent company Disney could not reach an agreement with Charter Communications. So there's alternate channels available if you go to keepmynetworks.com. The choices include DirecTV, Hulu Plus Live TV, YouTube TV, Fubo, and more, all of which can be activated immediately without a service call.
to center. Edman going back up against the wall. Leaps up and hauls it in. Another great fence-grabbing catch by Tommy Edman. Adam Wainwright is clapping. This guy is incredible in center field.
Brad Thompson, Chip Carey on the call, Bally Sports Midwest. Yeah, Tommy Edman's had, defensively, he had a remarkable series in Atlanta. Several great catches in almost all of the games. I was on social media at some point.
Oh, boy.
Somebody had said...
Makers or not?
What's that?
Did you have makers in you or not?
I'm glad I didn't, because I was going through it, and I won't say who it was, but there was somebody that said, Tommy Edman, another great game. Tell the idiots on 101 to stop trading him. And I almost responded, Jamie, and if I had a little makers in me, I probably would have. I'm one of those idiots. Why don't you tell me what you're going to do with this roster construction? Because that's what this comes down to. I don't want to trade at Tommy Edman. I want this group of Cardinals players, the position players, to all have opportunities. But what are you going to do next year with this same group? You have a roster construction problem. This is not a Tommy Edman discussion. This is a figure out when Brendan Donovan is healthy, Jamie, how you're going to get enough playing time for Tommy Edman, for Donovan, for Walker, for Gorman, for Contreras, for Arenado, for Goldschmidt, for Wynn, for Newt. What's your outfield going to look like next year?
Well, I think that's the bigger issue right now. If we go out to the outfield, we got Donovan, Edman, Walker, Carlson.
Yeah, which
O'Neill.
He's
just right
a
now,
bench bat.
But they're still there.
Over.
O'Neill. So I've got Donovan, Edman, Walker, Carlson, O'Neill, Newt, and who else? Who am I missing?
I think that's it. I think you covered them. So you said Edman, Donovan, Walker, Newt, Carlson, and O'Neill.
Yeah,
for now.
Six. Right as of right now, you have 6 outfielders.
Mm-hmm.
So there's not enough food at the table to feed all of them.
Right.
So
if your infield's going to be Arenado, Wynn, Gorman, and
Goldie, which it's going to be. That's what I mean. That's what the future looks like.
Right.
So you also have Palacios too. I guess we might as well put him on there. He's gotten some time and he's looked okay.
Mm-hmm.
And he might be a more happy bench bat than some of the other guys are.
Mm-hmm.
So the only way out of this is you have to make some trades. Like Carlson and O'Neill have to go. It's the way I look at it. Because you're not going to play them over Donovan, Edman, Walker, or Newt. You're not.
Right.
So they got to go. What that means, I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you get? I don't know. I don't really care.
Can I throw the other issue at you then?
Sure.
Because I think a lot of people would listen to that and agree. So yeah, okay, just get rid of those 2 guys. Problem solved.
I guess we got Burleson too.
Yeah. So the problem is not solved.
Why?
They don't have trade value.
Who cares?
You still have a logjam, and those guys don't have trade value.
So what? Get rid of them.
And you need
trade
pitching
for nothing.
You still have a logjam. Even in the outfield. How are you going to get enough playing time for Donovan, Walker, Newt, Edman, all in the same outfield?
Well, Donovan's probably going to bop around a little bit. There'll be games where he plays second and Gorman DHs. We know that.
Sure.
You'll find games for Donovan. At first base, second base, shortstop, third base.
Yeah.
You'll find games for Donovan. So I don't have a problem with it.
I think you're still going to run into the same issue as you've had this year at times, where people are like, why isn't he in the lineup? Why isn't he in the lineup? I would love to see a pretty static 9 next year
what you want,
with the lineup.
Anthony. I understand that, but no matter which way you slice it, you're going to end up with 4 outfielders, maybe 5 if one of them's just strictly a bench bat.
Unless you use one of those guys that does have trade value to get what you need, which is pitching.
So who do you think? Because there's only 2 guys that carry value.
Well, all of them, the 4 guys carry value, but you're not willing to.
They don't carry value though. Like, what
you tell me Walker doesn't carry value?
Okay, yes.
Donovan?
No.
You don't think Brendan Donovan carries
For
trade
what?
value?
What are you getting it for?
I think Brendan Donovan in a package with prospects.
Okay, but you didn't say package.
Okay, well, none of these guys except for Walker would be one-on-one. And Newt, even Newt, I don't know if you're getting one-on-one and still getting what you're looking for.
You easily get a guy for your rotation for Newt. I didn't say top of the rotation.
Okay. So, regardless.
Yeah.
All of those guys in a package would get you some pitching, right? So why wouldn't you look at the depth of what you have? Because you want to trade. You want to trade from what you have, an abundance of, in order to get something that you don't have, or else it's a Gorman situation, and people are like, "Well, trade Gorman for who?" No, I don't have an abundance of left-handed young hitters that hit 30-plus home runs a year, or the potential to.
So let me bounce this off of you because it's a very, very possible situation. So you trade Carlson and O'Neill for anything. I don't care. You're not getting, there's no trade value, and they shouldn't be playing above the guys we've just talked about.
Right.
So, and Palacios, who knows? I'm just scratching him off right now just because I'm sure he has options and they can work their way down the road. So you got Donovan, Edman, Newt, and Walker as your outfield, and I have Burleson with an asterisk because he's a bench bat that can play some first base, some outfield if necessary, but he's off the bench most likely, or DH in certain situations.
Yeah.
So Newt gets hurt. What now? What?
We could do this. I mean, I'm not minimizing your question. We could do this with everybody.
You could. But what I'm saying is, at least if you have Donovan and Edman, if you get an injury anywhere in your lineup, they can play there. Donovan certainly can play almost every position, including catcher. He was ready to go in one game.
Yeah, you could. I think you got the same roster matrix as next year. So that's fine. But let's not complain then next year when certain guys aren't getting ABs. That's kind of where I'm at.
I don't care. I'm not as disappointed in this lineup as some people are. I look at this lineup, and with proper pitching, it's a competitive lineup. Is it a contender? No, probably not. Not yet. But next year, Walker's going to be that much better. Gorman's going to be that much better. You have guys that are going to be performing at a high level. I think Goldie can still bring it next year. Arenado can bring it. Contreras, maybe he has an even better year than what he's having, or equal to what he's having this year.
Yeah.
So when I look at this lineup overall, I don't hate the lineup. Is it the perfect lineup? No, of course not. But if you put good pitching in this year, I think we feel differently about the lineup.
So you're gonna have to get 3 guys in free agency then.
I agree. It's going to be problematic.
If you want to protect,
and it's not ideal.
If you want to protect these position players, all 42 of them, then you're gonna have to go through free agency,
42, Anthony.
And no complaining next year about the righty lefty stuff and all that.
I just make fun of it. I don't really complain about it. I understand why they do it. Ish.
Jamie Rivers, Anthony Stalter. Hot take or hot garbage? Next on 101 ESPN.
Probably both. Anthony, the NFL season is always fun to watch, but you know as well as I do, way more fun with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. And new customers right now, they benefit from one of FanDuel's great promotions. And what that is they bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets, and that's guaranteed by FanDuel. And not just new customers, all customers have opportunities, like anybody who is a FanDuel customer right now or signs up. If they bet $5, they get $100 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV.
How about that? You're looking at the NFL slate on Sunday. You probably watched last night as the Lions upset the Chiefs, and you're looking at some of these lines for the weekend. There's a couple of really intriguing ones. I think the Jaguars only laying 4.5 is interesting in Indianapolis. I think the Falcons laying only 3 against Carolina is good as well. But however you want to play it at FanDuel, they've got all of the odds. They've got all the spreads. They've got the player props. They got the same game parlays. They've got the live betting. Visit FanDuel.com/fast. Again, FanDuel.com/fast. Kick off the NFL season season with that offer that Jamie was just talking about. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL.
21 and over, President Illinois. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issues non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. NFL Sunday ticket offer ends 9/18/23. No refunds. Terms and embargoes apply. $100 off NFL Sunday ticket. Not YouTube TV. YouTube TV base plan required to watch YouTube TV. Redemption requires a Google account and current form of payment. Commercial use excluded. Subscription renews. Cancel any time.
Hey, another reminder, you can go to keepmynetworks.com. Again, keepmynetworks.com. If you are a Spectrum TV or Charter Communications customer, you know that you have lost access to ESPN and Disney's unrivaled sports, entertainment, and family programming from the ESPN networks, the Disney-branded channels, Freeform, the FX networks, and National Geographic channels. So if you lost all that in the last couple of days, keepmynetworks.com. There you could choose alternate choices, DirecTV Stream, Hulu Plus Live TV, YouTube TV, Fubo, and more, all of which can be activated immediately without a service call.
ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Cards lost to the Braves last night by a final score of 8-5. They'll be back in action tonight taking on the Cincinnati Reds. First pitch is at 5:40. It's Drew Rom going up against Andrew Abbott. Once again, Cards and Reds. First pitch, 5:40. Last night, the Lions defeated the Chiefs 21-20. We talked some NFL today. If you missed any of that, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the 101 mobile app. You'll also find our interview with Matt Holliday. full interview and our full show on the website and the mobile app. It's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. We have hot take or hot garbage coming up next. If you have a hot take, send it our way to the Air Comfort Service text line 314-399-9646. We'll decide if it's a hot take or if it's hot garbage. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff. Find new roads and shop 24/7 at londoff.com and londoffautoplex.com. Are you kidding me?
What you heard, Marsh. I finished what I was eating there. You heard Marsh in the Sports Center update. Ask for your text messages for hot take or hot garbage. So you give us what you believe is a take, and we'll say whether or not it's a hot take or whether or not it's hot garbage.
Yeah, you never know.
To be judged immediately, basically, is what we're saying.
You will absolutely be judged on the spot.
So send it into the Air Comfort Service text line at 314-399-9646.
All right, let's start off from the 314. St. Louis football fans are dumb for rooting for Kansas City. Hot take.
That's hot garbage.
That's hot garbage, yeah.
It's hot garbage. Well, who else are you going to root for?
You know what? I mean, if you're a St. Louis football fan and you suffered for most of that time, why wouldn't you hop on a winner?
Well, even if they weren't a winner, which they are, they have great, talented players like Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce. They did have Tyreek Hill. They got Andy Reid. They have a lot of reasons to cheer for their team. Now, the Kansas City Chiefs are not one of my teams that I'm a fan of. I shouldn't say that. I like the Chiefs. I'm a fan of the Chiefs. They're not my team or one of my teams yet. Never know. But, look, they're in the state of Missouri. I mean, St. Louis doesn't have a team. Why wouldn't you just move over and adopt them, especially if young football fans are just getting involved, like the Rams no longer here, obviously. But let's say you're a 10, 11, 12-year-old kid. Patrick Mahomes is super cool. Travis Kelce's super cool. They're right here. Yeah, I'd say it's hot garbage.
Yeah, less than 4 hours away. You go to one of the best, most historic stadiums in the National Football League. Yeah, hot garbage.
From the 618, hot take, mayo is great on a hot dog.
It doesn't sound like it. I've never had it, though, and I can't be a hypocrite. I feel like nightly I'm telling my kids, well, how do you know it's terrible?
Mayo on the wiener?
No, I don't put any mayo on the wiener.
Huh.
I haven't even thought about it.
Come on. You've never thought about it?
No. Mayo on a burger.
I mean, I've thought about I've definitely had mayo on the burger.
Yeah.
I can't remember if I had any mayo on the wiener.
I know. I would know. I would remember.
But I have thought about it.
Yeah.
I mean, why not? Mayo's delicious. So's, the hot dog.
Yeah, you put it right in between the buns, and then you just
put the wiener.
Right there. Yeah.
Now, would you put the mayo right in the bottom, like right in the crack of the buns, and then the wiener on top of it? Or would you put the mayo just on top of the wiener?
I think I'd put it in
let
between.
The buns come in and get some for themselves.
I let the buns soak in the mayonnaise, and then I'd throw the other condiments on top.
Okay. All right. So what was the actual question again?
Is mayonnaise good on a hot dog?
Yeah, I undetermined. I haven't tried it.
Yeah.
I feel like, Anthony, I tell you what. I'm going to put mayo on my wiener. I'll let you try it.
Okay.
Okay?
Have you ever had mustard with watermelon?
Yeah, you are.
Mustard with watermelon?
Yeah.
No.
I saw a TikTok one time, and this person was trying out mustard with watermelon. And I was like, wow, that sounds disgusting. And then I had a few beers in me, and I tried it, and it actually wasn't that bad. So maybe, Anthony, you get a couple beers in you, maybe you'll throw some mayonnaise on your dog.
I wouldn't even think to do that.
I wouldn't either, but it's the way that the watermelon tastes with the little sour from the mustard. It actually wasn't too bad.
How high are you?
Anthony, I told you I was drinking. I was not.
No, I'm just saying.
I was not Stone Mountain there. Come on.
First, come up with that. You stumble in. You stumble into the old kitchen. You see the watermelon sitting there. Maybe you cut it up earlier in the day, and you go into your fridge, and you grab the mustard, and you throw the mustard on the watermelon. How many ayahuascas are you down at that point to put those two things, to do that combination together?
A lot. Why wouldn't you be?
Unbelievable.
All right.
What else you got, Marsh?
Actually, Marsh's burner account wants to know, what about peanut butter on the wiener, the hot dog?
No. See, that's just something there. Just too sticky.
Is it mayo?
Too hard to eat. No, not like peanut butter.
Peanut butter on burgers, though. Have you had the peanut butter bacon burger?
No.
Ooh, pretty good.
No.
I could see that.
Pretty good.
Peanut butter's pretty good overall, so.
Yeah, but I don't want it on my wiener.
You put a lot of things.
Or on the buns.
I feel like you put a lot of things on your buns and your wiener.
Yeah, but not peanut butter.
All right, fair.
All right, from the 636, my hot take for the Blues. Tyler Tucker ends the year next to Colton Parayko.
Oof, that's a hot garbage. I hate that we have to say it's hot garbage.
I know. I feel like we're just judging people.
Yeah, like Tyler Tucker.
We have no right.
He came from relative obscurity to being called up to earning Craig Berube's respect and earning the responsibility of playing. I think Tyler Tucker playing 50 games next year of the season would be a great accomplishment for the young man. So I'm not going to drop him on the left side of Colton Parayko playing against McDavid and Draisaitl and Nathan McKinnon. I just don't know if he's ready for that. So set him up for success. That's my thoughts.
From the 636, hot take or hot garbage, Chris Jones sitting in a suite last night was a slap in the face to his teammates.
I think it's a hot take. I agree. When I saw him sitting there, I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Yeah, it was completely unnecessary. Man. You just go, be at home, watch the game.
Your teammates have respected your contract stuff.
Distraction for nothing.
But, yeah, to be there, I thought the same thing, man. I'm like, what? Why is he even there?
Because he wanted the attention, Anthony. It's why he put the two guys beside him in suits that looked like they belonged in Goodfellas.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know who the hell those guys were, but he's sitting there and somebody tips off the cameraman. They're filming this guy at the game. Like, dude, stop.
Yeah.
Stop.
Hot take. I like it.
Total hot take.
From the 314, hot take. The Lions fan base is way too cocky after one win against a depleted Chiefs team.
I'm going to say hot garbage just because I know the Lions fan base very well. Not all of them, obviously, but I know a lot of Lions fans. This group they cannot be cocky. It's not within them. They have suffered through a lot of bad football for a very long time. All of their lives. It's kind of like Blues fans until they won the Cup. Like, Blues fans could never be cocky. They couldn't. It wasn't within them. No. Same deal with the Lions. So, I'm going to go hot garbage on that.
Yeah, I go hot garbage on that, too, just because I've been to Ford Field and watched a number of games where it was sold out, and the Lions were like 2-10 on the season at that point.
They showed up the year that they went 0-16.
Yeah, no kidding.
They did. Yep, no.
From the 618, hot take or hot garbage. Notre Dame will make the college football playoffs this year.
I think that's hot garbage.
What?
I'm intrigued by Notre Dame, but not as much as I am by other teams.
So Notre Dame's at 10 right now, just as far as the actual rankings go.
I don't think it's an insane take.
There's a lot of teams in front of them that they would have to be better than. Obviously, the top three, Bama, Michigan, Georgia. And then I think it's an absolute slugfest for number 4 between Ohio State, USC. I think Notre Dame is in that discussion. I don't know if I believe in Penn State or not. I don't know if I believe in Florida State. I know they have the big win, but I still don't know.
I think Washington's a lot better than people think, too.
Well, I did not have that on my bingo card. But
Utah's going to get there. I mean, Oregon put 81 on Portland State last week, so you got to pay attention to them, too, you know? I mean, 81 points, Jamie. That's a lot. I don't care who you're playing.
It's a lot.
By the way,
They've opened up their playbook way too much. Next week, they're screwed.
It was anti-Mizzou. They threw it all over the place.
From the 636, Anthony, how dare you compare the Blues to a team that's won a single playoff game in the entire Super Bowl era?
What I was saying was that Blues fans were long-suffering. You were.
For a Stanley Cup. Not
Stanley
playoffs,
Cup.
Because there was, 28 years in a row.
But still, there was a lot of lean years, too, mixed in there. And you suffered through it. You could imagine somebody calling you cocky.
I like confident.
Imagine calling you
the word.
Imagine calling you cocky after one good month of hockey when you were a Blues fan before the Cup. Oh, these Blues fans are cocky. Come on. How'd that make you feel? You want to stab somebody?
Probably.
That's all I'm saying.
Probably stab him with a broken beer bottle.
It would not have been fair. Exactly.
Two of them.
Yeah. Would not have been fair to you, Blues fan. And I don't think it's fair to Lions fan. Call him cocky. That's all. That's all I'm saying. All right. NFL division preview. AFC South next. Hey, when it comes to being a Charter Communications TV customer or Spectrum TV customer, you have lost access to ESPN and Disney's unrivaled sports, entertainment, and family programming. That goes for the ESPN networks, that goes for the Disney-branded channels, Freeform, the FX networks, and the National Geographic channels. You've probably seen that message on your TV screen over the last couple of days. Well, don't fret. Customers can go to keepmynetworks.com for alternate choices, including DirecTV Stream, Hulu Plus Live TV, YouTube TV, Fubo, and more, all of which can be activated immediately, right now, without a service call.
Time to go around the NFL with the Fast Lane season preview of the AFC South.
All right, last division preview here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. The AFC South, a real barn burner, guys.
Why don't you like the AFC South?
Well, you'll find out. So this would be the Colts, the Jags, the Titans, and, of course, the Texans.
Oh, that's why.
Do we all have the Jaguars winning the division?
Yes.
Yep. All right. Don't have to spend a lot of time there. They got the best quarterback. They got the best team. Go Jags. Who do you have second in this crap division?
I have the best of the worst. I have the Titans. I think that, excuse me, I think that Derrick Henry is always going to keep you competitive. Mm-hmm. I think that DeAndre Hopkins is also a guy that keeps you competitive. Yeah. I mean, the Colts are going to be hot garbage, and so are the Texans.
Yeah.
So, like I said, it's the best of the worst.
Yeah.
I got the Titans in second.
I do too. Tennessee. Tennessee.
Lord,
I got the Texans finishing third. I got the Colts last. I think the Colts are going to have a really rough year. It's not just because of Jonathan Taylor. I like Anthony Richardson, but he wasn't great last year for Florida. Talented kid, got a rocket for an arm, very athletic, run around, but it's going to take a little while for him. And he doesn't have a lot around him when it comes to the skill position players. Then you lose Jonathan Taylor. No thanks. That dead offensive line nearly got Matt Ryan killed all of last year. And obviously, Anthony Richardson has more mobility than Matt Ryan, but still, I think that Colts team is going to really struggle throughout the year. So that's my four: Jags, Titans, Texans, who I think are going to be a little better than people think, and then the Colts.
Well, the Texans apparently, I was looking over some of the predictions, and it looks like they're going to have a top 10 defense.
They are fast, aggressive, and athletic defensively. And DeMeco Ryans knows what he's doing.
That coupled with a little bit of luck on the offensive side or whatever.
Yeah.
I do have them third, and I've got the lowly Colts in last. I mean, they really haven't done much to help Anthony Richardson. Now he doesn't even have a running game to support him. I just...
Not great.
No.
So, since we're last here, we're at the last division.
Yeah.
Marsh. Yes.
Who are your 7 playoff teams in the AFC?
All right, so I'll work backwards. I have the New York Jets. They are my 7th seed. I have the LA Chargers as my 6th seed. I then have the Cincinnati Bengals as my 5 seed. The Kansas City Chiefs are my 4 seed. Buffalo is my 3rd seed. Jacksonville is my 2nd seed. And the Baltimore Ravens are my number 1 seed.
Okay. Jamie, do you know your 7?
Yeah, I had written it down yesterday, oddly enough. And I got the Chiefs, Bengals, Ravens, Jaguars, Bills, Dolphins, Chargers. No Jets.
Well, we need to move the Ravens out of the top 4 because they're in the same division with the Bengals.
Well,
they technically can't.
Yeah, but you were just you were going
top 7.
He was just going through just.
Oh, okay. I thought we were doing seeds.
No, I didn't. I'm not that freaking smart, Andrew.
You're very smart.
Sorry, I didn't go to college, Marsh. You just called me out on the air?
Well, I thought you went to Mizzou.
Hey.
I did, but not for school.
Only for a weekend.
Thank you,
very
Anthony.
smart.
Respect.
All right.
Who is the 7th team?
Chargers.
That's right.
I've got Kansas City, Baltimore, Jacksonville, and Miami as one of my surprises. Miami, one of my surprises to win the division. Those are the division winners.
I didn't know that was the assignment, but okay.
My wild card teams, Buffalo, the Chargers, and the Pittsburgh Steelers. I do not have the Jets, Jets. I do not have the Bengals making the playoffs.
Surprising.
Those are the 2 teams I got surprises.
Yeah. All right.
There you go. NFC, Marsh, run it.
We got the Skull Vikes as the 7th seed. The 6th seed is the 49ers. The Eagles will be my 5 seed. The Lions will be the 4. The Saints will be 3. The Seattle Seahawks will be number 2. And oh my gosh, the Dallas Cowboys will be my number 1 seed.
Okay. Jamie.
All right, I just did it, just the 7 teams again. Sorry, guys.
No, you're fine.
I got Cowboys, Eagles, Lions, 49ers, Saints, Seahawks.
I have most of those teams. I got the Eagles, 49ers, Saints, and Packers as my division
I
winners.
knew you would.
Then I've got the Detroit Lions, the Dallas Cowboys, and the Hotlanta Falcons as my wild cards.
You still have the Packers ahead of the Lions after what you saw last night?
Well, I've been talking up the. I can't flip flop right
Sure
now.
you can.
No, long
you do it
season.
many times.
Okay. I always admit when I do, though.
Yeah, I didn't say that you tried to hide it.
No, Jamie, I'm sticking with what you said. Go with your gut. That's what you told me a long time ago. Go with your gut. Well, that's what I'm going to do, my friend. Okay? Go with my gut. Green Bay. We're down like all their wide receivers for Sunday's game against the Bears.
One last question.
You had talked about yesterday, Marsh. Yes.
Who will be each of our Chicago White Sox?
So the idiot prediction, basically. Yeah. My idiot Super Bowl prediction.
Should we just make Super Bowl predictions, too?
We'll do that a little bit later.
All right.
Jamie's got to take another look at his teams. Jamie's got to remember. Jamie's got to remember which teams he picked in the playoffs.
I wrote them down. I wrote them down this time.
In his trusty notebook.
Yeah. Look at this thing.
He's like Steve from Blue's Clues.
By the way, did you have 7 teams or 6 in each conference?
7.
Okay. All right.
Not 6, Anthony. 7.
I wrote down 6.
I wrote down 6. That's what I thought. I thought I heard 6.
At least for the
AFC?
For the NFC.
NFC. Who are your NFC teams there, Jamie? Can you go over those one more time, buddy?
Yeah.
Eagles, 49ers, Saints,
Be quiet.
and Lions.
I've got the Cowboys.
Okay.
Eagles, Lions, 49ers, Saints, and Seahawks.
Yeah, 6.
Oh.
You're afforded one more.
Yeah.
He had the Vikings.
Yeah.
So I ran out. Look at this.
He said the Vikings 2 days ago.
Well, he's allowed to change his mind, Marsh.
Look at this. I ran out of space here, so I put it to the side.
Okay.
Look, you can see that on the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
As well as all the Jamie's other notes.
I'm on an island.
Something bad on there?
And pictures.
Oh, boy.
I'll say my White Sox team will probably be... Ooh, if I had to say... I don't know, maybe the Jets?
Yeah, but nobody had the White Sox but me.
You know what? How about Seattle?
Okay.
Maybe they take a step back this year.
All right. What's trending is next on 101 ESPN. Jamie Rivers, Anthony Stalter. We called our guy Stewie today because we wanted to talk about bidding, right? You're looking for a new house. You want to have an attractive offer, but how do you beat the other bids that are on the market? Well, our guy Stewie, he's got the idea for you.
You know what, Anthony, this is a big challenge in this real estate market. People want to buy homes, and you know what? They're getting a bid from here and offer for here. The average amount of bids on a particular home today, 3 to 4 to 1. That means there's 3 to 4 contracts for every house that's on sale. You have to get the edge. You got to make yourself more competitive. You got to make yourself more attractive to the seller so they take your offer versus anybody else out there. I'm not going to tell you right now the ways we do it, but all our customers, 90% of them win every single time. It's because of the tools we have to give you the opportunity to beat everybody else out. Call us, and you'll find out.
Yeah, I mean, that's a massive advantage to be using, Stewie. And the market is crazy competitive out there. So you got to give yourself every little advantage that you can. And that's why you call Stewie on his personal cell phone number, or you can shoot him a text at 314-324-4440.
Again, 314-324-4440.
And if you can't remember the number, you can always Google the bagel loan.
Stewie, thank you. Have a great weekend.
Have a good one, guys.
NMLS number 226715.
You are listening to The Fast Lane, broadcasting live. What's going on in the world of sports? The Fast Lane has you covered with what's trending now.
Brought to you by Goodwill. Donate to Goodwill and get a Lion's Choice sandwich coupon.
Welcome back to the Fast Lane here on 101 ESPN. Anthony Stalter, Jamie Rivers, I'm Andrew Marsh, and it's time for What's Trending. Dan Campbell is What's Trending. We've been talking about him all day long, and according to Joe Papagliano, and by the way, this was sent by the 314, so appreciate the listeners texting in. He tweets out, reminder that Detroit Lions head coach Dan Campbell has the most absurd coffee order of all time. 2 venti coffees from Starbucks with 2 espresso shots, and each is more than 1,100 milligrams of caffeine. That's the equivalent of drinking 10 Red Bulls every morning.
Yeah, he described that one day to the media, I think at like one of his press conferences.
Yeah.
I don't know if he has that all in one sitting or if it's just kind of throughout the day.
I would hope it's throughout the day.
He's going to have a heart attack.
No, I doubt it, though. He probably...
He's pretty intense.
Yeah. I somehow don't necessarily think he needs all that.
No. He seemingly has a lot of raw energy.
Yeah.
That guy. Yeah. Jamie, you also had showed me something during my commercial read.
I did.
Something about last night's game.
Sorry, I thought it was something else. Yeah, I did show you.
Yeah, no, this was the thing on your phone.
Yeah. Would you like me to describe that?
Yes.
All right. So apparently the Lions picked up on some things that were going on with the offensive line for the Chiefs, and it was
Juwan Taylor.
Yes, Juwan Taylor. That every time, and you can go back. There's a couple of links on Twitter. Every single time it was a pass, he started pumping his back foot because he was getting ready to backpedal to go into pass protection. And then whenever it was a run, he didn't pump the foot because he was leaning forward on his toes, looking to push forward and drive for a run. So apparently the Lions picked up on that. And then as soon as they see him start to kickstart the Harley, like, oh, pass play. Oh, running play.
Pin your ears back and go.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
it happens.
You got to be careful with what you're doing out there.
So when I know I've shared this. I know I've shared this before. So if you've heard this, my apologies. But when the Rams were here, there was a game in which the Rams played the 49ers, and the 49ers at that time it was the Colin Kaepernick, Frank Gore, Patrick Willis, that 49er group, like the really stud John Harbaugh led 49ers. And they came to the Dome, and the 49ers were sizable favorites, and the Rams shocked them. And one of the things that they did that was shocking was they took out San Francisco's offense. Lo and behold, they had to tell that game. When Frank Gore, the running back for the Niners, would put his mouthpiece in, it was a run. When he let it hang on his face mask, it was a pass. And the Rams picked up on it early, or they had to tell from maybe the watching film.
They asked Bill Belichick,
and maybe they asked Bill, and they utilized that. Now you still got to make plays, but they utilized that to know what the 49ers are doing.
It certainly is a big advantage for your secondary. If they know it's a pass play or a run play.
Everything.
If it's a run play, man, you can come up and close that out quickly.
Absolutely.
If it's a pass play, you can drop a linebacker back and get some help, maybe.
Oh, if you're the linebackers, you don't even have to. If you're sure that's what it is, your linebackers, think about it. You have to first make sure that you're reading run before you back into pass coverage. So that takes away play action for the offense. You're a linebacker. You can immediately go back if you know it's going to be a pass. You don't have to necessarily worry about the run. Now, if you're spying the QB, it's a little bit different, but that's a huge advantage. So, again, it does happen. I'm sure the Chiefs will get it figured out. I'm surprised somebody else didn't figure it out on the sidelines.
Apparently, they took a bat to his leg today.
Did they? That's not good.
No longer kickstarting the Harley now, are you?
That doesn't sound right, Jamie.
What?
I don't know if you're telling...
allegedly. I don't know for sure.
I don't know if you're telling the truth.
I don't either,
right
to be honest.
Same sources that said that Najee Harris was upset walking off the field.
Did he or did he not walk off the field?
Well, yeah, he did, though. Jamie,
See?
He did, but, again, he was walking to the locker room because practice was over. Sources. And we feel like he got confused on that.
I don't know. Probably.
Speaking of being confused, I'm confused as to why the United States keeps losing basketball games to other countries. Man. Germany beat Team USA 113-111 to advance to the FIBA World Cup final. So another loss for the United States basketball team. The quote-unquote best team in the world, or the world champions.
What are we doing? What are we doing?
What, Team USA?
Yeah.
Who's over there anyways? I don't even know.
It doesn't matter.
Well, it kind of does because they're losing.
This is supposed to be...
Like Steph Curry's not over there.
Listen, Jamie.
LeBron, Kevin Durant. Like, pick your pony. They're not over there.
This is supposed to be our payback for soccer. All right?
Was it?
Yeah, they're all laughing at our soccer team. This was supposed to be our one thing where we flexed. And we're losing to Lithuania and what? France?
Germany.
This is unacceptable.
Oh, I agree with that.
I don't like it at all. I think every player on this team should be cut and never accepted back.
They just quit basketball.
Yeah, they should.
It's
despicable.
I love reading tweets and articles that start off with a Florida man.
Oh, yeah.
So we have one here from the Daily Loud on Twitter. A Florida man has been arrested on federal charges after using a man-made hamster wheel in an attempt to cross the Atlantic Ocean. Riza Bellucci told the Coast Guard that he was attempting to ride the hydropod all the way to England and claimed that he had Florida registration, which he was unable to locate for them on board.
Now, so was this a hamster wheel or one of those hamster balls?
So it was not one of the hamster balls that you would see at the Carshield Field. However, this one had little balls or big balls, these inflatable balls.
Dan Campbell size?
Sure. Connected to, I don't even know how to describe this, a cage. These balls look like the ones that you would see at Walmart.
Let me see your balls.
Yeah, describe them.
Here they are, right here.
Here.
Right. They're red, too.
Put them right here in my hand. All right, great. Oh, okay. Yeah, so The balls that Marshy's talking about are like some of those like workout balls.
Yes.
And they're on the sides of this thing with, it looks like other.
So kind of like the things at Forest Park.
Yeah. No.
What?
No.
Let you go on the. Oh yeah, not what I was thinking. Okay, there's multiple.
There's lots.
Those
of
are
balls.
multiple balls on both sides.
Yeah. And they got like pieces of wood, and then he's got himself in a cage in the middle.
So so Jamie, if what you're saying is correct, he's got balls on both sides and a piece of wood right there in the middle.
Right in the middle. Yeah.
Now I could picture it.
And what's funny is the wood's not nearly as impressive as the balls.
And he didn't make it.
Much smaller.
He didn't make it, huh?
No, he didn't make it.
He did. Well, he didn't make it to England, but
I guess he did.
Yeah, I thought you meant if he was still alive, but he did get arrested. So,
like, when you see this stuff, like, at what point did he think this was going to work? Like,
I don't know.
Has he not seen how the ocean gets? Like, once you get off the coast,
does he not realize that the waves and it gets pretty rough out on those seas.
It's terrible. Those boats that are massive,
have issues.
Are stressed,
right?
And this guy here with his little red balls and his wood,
not gonna make it.
Not gonna make it.
No. Yeah.
So,
Marsh, thanks for bringing that story.
Yeah, I mean, what do you expect though from a Florida man?
Yeah,
it's very true.
A lot of those stories.
512. Your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. We've got Beat the Streak and biggest question of the day next on 101 ESPN. ESPN's parent company, Disney, has been unable to reach a market-based agreement with Charter Communications to keep its channels on their cable system and their streaming service. As a result, Spectrum TV customers have lost access to ESPN and Disney's unrivaled sports, entertainment, and family programming from the ESPN networks, the Disney-branded channels, Freeform, the FX networks, and the National Geographic channels. Customers can go to keepmynetworks.com for alternate choices, including DirecTV Stream, Hulu Plus Live TV, YouTube TV, Fubo, and more, all of which can be activated immediately without a service call.
to hit baseballs.
All of my successes depend on me.
You're ready to hit.
The hits just keep on coming.
And his first big league hit is a bullet up the middle.
Time to play Beat the Streak here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Jacob, what's going on, man?
It's good. How are you doing today?
Doing good. Thank you for playing Beat the Streak. Marsh, why don't you read off their standings there?
All right.
The latest streaks.
Jamie still has a streak of 5. He has upped his thanks to Matt Olson. Anthony, you're at 2. Jacob is at 1 thanks to Marcelo Zuna. And I am back to 0.
What happened, Marsh?
Arcia did not get a hit.
Man. Jamie, you're up.
Yeah, all right. I'm going to go with Ely De La Cruz.
Really?
Yeah, I just feel like he's going to knock the snot out of one tonight, Anthony.
Okay.
No apparent reason, just got a feeling.
All right. I'm going to go with Spencer Steer tonight of the Reds. Spencer Steer.
Is he a right-handed batter?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Jacob, you're up.
I think I'm going to go with past Cardinal Harrison Bader.
All right.
3 Reds off the board so far.
Marsh won't take a red, though. I know him.
You're right, Anthony. I'm going with Tommy Edman.
There you go. The Edman Show. Okay, so Jamie's got Ella De La Cruz tonight for Beat the Streak. I went with Spencer Steer. Jacob went with Harrison Bader. And Marsh went with Tommy Edman. Jacob, good luck. Hopefully we'll talk to you Monday.
Thanks. Good luck to you guys, too.
Thanks, man. Have a good weekend.
You too.
All right, there you go. Beat the Streak.
It's time for the Fast Lane's biggest question of the day.
All right, gentlemen, it's been a while since we've heard from John Fozelak. And John Fozelak has a question not only for us, but for the listeners as well. So maybe they can help him out.
It's a group activity.
Absolutely. We love good exercises.
Yeah.
So love group stuff, Anthony.
Absolutely. Here is John Fozelak addressing the city of St. Louis.
So, I'd like to, do a new exercise. Obviously, a lot of your listeners and most of St. Louis, thinks they can do my job. They love to critique and run their mouths. So, I want to, give the audience a voice, if you will, and help me out with a critical decision. So, unfortunately, we drafted Travis Kelce, and look, in the long run, it's going to be great. When he comes back, it'll be like a trade. And we just acquired a, GOAT, the number 1 guy at his position, and it'll be nice. And I'll treat myself to, a nice cab and maybe a new scarf, right? So, but the fact is, we live in the now, and the now it's not great. Do I play a Conquo? Do I pick up a guy like Dawson Knox? There's a lot of hype around this Musgrave guy. So, when it comes to, these middle tier to low end tight ends, I'm just, I'm not as well versed. And, Gersh doesn't have a trade evaluator he can give to me. So, what does the audience think?
Wow. Yeah, that's tough. I love how he dropped the getting Travis Kelce back will be as good as making a trade. Yep.
He gets it.
I think you should go with Okonkwo, the tight end for the Titans. If he's already on your roster, John Foselak, I would do that. Kid had a semi-breakout second half last year.
So you're taking him over who? Travis Kelce?
No, wow. Because Travis Kelce, obviously not. He didn't play last night, Jamie. So
no, John play next week.
John Foselak has got to go with a tight end this week, though. So I'm going with the tight end from the Titans, Okonkwo.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
What's up with George Kittle?
Yeah, he's banged up too. He's questionable.
Let's think how Mo would. So we're going to the grocery
Let's find
store.
the middle of the pack.
That's
guy.
what I'm thinking. That's exactly what I'm thinking. I'm thinking maybe a Hayden Hurst. He's projected 6.8 this week.
That's a John Fossela.
Absolutely. And we talked about it earlier, maybe off air. I can't remember, but a lot of the pass catchers for the Carolina Panthers injured.
Yeah, Hayden Hurst might be the only guy catching passes for the Panthers when it's all said and done. And since Bryce Young might have 4.8 seconds, 1 point. I should go with 1.4 seconds to get the ball out.
A lot of short routes.
Yeah, a lot of short routes. So that's not a bad thought, Marsh. If Hayden Hurst is available on your waiver wire, maybe you go that route.
It's definitely a tough decision. Let's just see what the text line's thinking, huh? Well, they don't care.
Not one thing on it.
Not one. That's why people they don't like Fo.
Well, look. The worst thing ever is to hear somebody talk about their fantasy football team. Now, John Fossela did set the parameters out there to just say, look, if you think you can do my job, then help me out here. So that's fine. Everybody else, nobody cares about their fantasy squad. Who do you guys have in the Super Bowl? Because we did not give out our Super Bowl picks.
We did.
Well, you said to hang on to that, Anthony.
I did until right now.
I don't want to talk about it right now.
Marsh, who's in your Super Bowl?
Wow, it's tough.
Play this thing out for us.
I think the Eagles are going back.
Yeah. I'm just kidding.
What?
Just go. Relax. I'm just joking.
All right, so Marsh, you have the Eagles.
I have the Eagles.
You don't have them winning their own division.
I don't.
But you got them going to the SB.
I got them going to the SB.
All right.
I'm looking at the AFC. For some reason, I think this might be the year.
Don't you do
as
it.
they circle the wagons in Buffalo.
Okay.
Wow.
Who did you think I was going to say?
I thought you were going to take my selection for the AFC.
Who, the Ravens?
Damn right, the Ravens. Lamar Jackson is going to win the MVP this year, and he's going to shove it so far up Jamie Rivers' rear end about not being a good quarterback.
I never said he wasn't a good quarterback.
That Jamie's just going to get a Lamar jersey when it's all said and done. Give me the Baltimore Ravens in the AFC and the San Francisco 49ers in the NFC. It's going to be Brock Purdy and Lamar.
Well, first of all,
book it.
All I've ever said is how good Lamar Jackson is as a quarterback and that maybe his offensive coordinator failed him, but we have to see. We haven't seen Lamar with the new offensive coordinator. We haven't seen what that looks like yet.
I've seen Lamar win an MVP without an offensive coordinator, essentially.
Pretty much. But, so I'm going to go a little different here. I'm going to go with the 49ers. Coming out of the NFC. And I've got the Ravens.
Do you really?
I do. I mean, that's why when you said it, I was like,
yeah.
I was like, how do I screw around with this? Because Anthony just literally gave exactly what my prediction was.
By the way, we got a text from the 314.
That'll never happen now. There's no way you and I are both going to be right.
We got a few people chiming in now about John Fossela's mic drop. The 314 makes a great point. Isaiah Likely will be a steal. Mark Andrews is questionable.
I love Isaiah Likely.
Isaiah Likely, I'll tell you what, that guy's a money player.
You
really
get him in a primetime spot with Mark Andrews starting the game, but then getting hurt at some point during that game. Isaiah Likely's going to take over.
You just have to have the knowledge that that's going to happen.
You got to have a feel, Marsh. You got to have a feel that Isaiah Likely might have himself some opportunities at some point, even though Mark Andrews is going to start the game. You know? I love that Isaiah Likely call.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Big fan.
Sports Six Pack is next. 314-399-9646. Again, 314-399-9646 is the Air Comfort Service text line. If you got a question for us, great. Send it in. Sports Six Pack next in the Fast Lane.
Swiss Air Heating and Cooling and our guy Ron, the Wizard of Comfort, they've got a deal for you. Upgrade your home comfort system and you will get an instant rebate and tax credits totaling $5,000. You also get 60 months with 0% financing. And Anthony, they've got the Daikin Fit system that offers you peace and quiet inside and outside of your home. And it's pretty cool looking, too.
That thing is silent. It's sleek. Looks great on the side of our house, but man, I a lot of times I can't hear it unless I'm standing right next to it. And our old unit, man, it sounded like somebody was landing an airplane on the side of my house constantly. So I love what Swiss Air did for us. I love what Ron, the Wizard of Comfort, did for our family when we replaced our entire HVAC system earlier this year. I've mentioned this before with Swiss Air. Nobody beat their rebates.
Yeah.
Let me slow down a little bit. Nobody beat their warranties. Nobody beat their pricing. Nobody beat their customer service. We, did our due diligence, Jamie, to kind of vet other companies. Other companies were fine. Swiss Air was great, and we couldn't be more happy with the AC right now in our home.
Yeah, so pick up the phone, call them, tell them that Jamie and Anthony sent you in, and the phone number's real easy. 636-500-COOL. That's right, 636-500-COOL, or you can visit SwissAirSTL.com.
ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Soliga Heating and Cooling. The Cards take on the Reds tonight. Drew Rahm going up against Andrew Abbott. That one starts here in about 10 minutes, 5:40 first pitch. Once again, Cards, Reds, 5:40 first pitch. Last night, the Lions defeated the Chiefs 21-20. It is week one of the NFL. We'll have all the coverage right here on 101 ESPN. 3 games for you. The Saints taking on the Titans, the Patriots against the Eagles, and the Giants and Cowboys to round out Sunday slate of NFL football. It all starts at 11:30. We have the Sports Six-Pack coming up next. If you have any questions, send them our way, 314-399-9646. Sports Six-Pack coming up next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center Update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six-Pack is refreshed by Maggie O'Brien's, your go-to Irish pub in St. Louis for over 42 years.
All right, time for the Sports Six-Pack here on the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Jamie Rivers, Anthony Stalter. Here's Andrew Marsh with your questions.
Question number 1.
This one comes from Swan. Anthony, if you were forced to become a coach, talking high school in this scenario, and were not able to use a more modern offense like the spread, what offensive formation would you go with? Wing T, double wing, wishbone, pro form, the I formation? Would you run more of a ground and pound offense or more finesse like the triple or double option?
Triple option. I'd go triple options. It's one of the most difficult things to prepare for in a short week if you're not used to it. So it's one of the reasons why Nick Saban stopped scheduling certain opponents that ran the triple option, because if he faced them at any point mid-season, he knew his defense was going to be at a disadvantage. Despite having the athletes, it's an offense that you're not prepared, you're not facing constantly. So I would run that offense, provided, of course, that I had three good runners and a mobile quarterback. But I don't have to worry about receivers at that point. I don't have to worry about having a decent tight end. As long as I have some blockers and 3 runners, I'm good. And I know I'm going to play a time of possession game. I'm going to keep scores somewhat in check and try to win it that way. So I'm going to go with the triple option. It's a good question.
Question number 2.
From a 6'6"
And Jamie's my defensive coordinator.
Yeah, kill the quarterback.
There you go. That's why I hired him.
Mm-hmm. From the 661, do you guys prefer spread or money line, and why? Personally, I get more entertainment from only betting on kicker performance, but I'm a sucker for inflamed ulcers.
Kicker performance?
Like prop plays for kickers?
So.
I mean, I like the angle. I think it'd be entertaining. I don't know how much advantage or disadvantage you have with some of those, but
I'll say this. Find something. Find one area. The guys that I have talked to that do this for a living, we're not, we're idiots on the radio that give out predictions. Jamie hands out good predictions, like the Lions yesterday.
Just aggressive. That's all.
Forget what we have to say. But the guys that I've talked to that actually make a living off of this, they usually find one area. And a lot of times it's player props. So somebody might have, one of these experts might have kind of a thought on, pitcher props, and he might only look at unders, or he might only look at overs. Basketball guy might say, okay, I know, like the assist market is always off at a certain sports book. I'm going to go that route. So we laugh about the kicker props, but it's a good thought.
I think it's fun.
Spreads, totals, even money lines, incredibly difficult to beat. Incredibly difficult. Impossible over the course of a season, honestly. I mean, to make money, you got to get, 54-something% and do it consistently. And you think, oh, well, I can do that. It's not easy. So if you find a little market for yourself, kickers or whatever.
That's why they make lots of money off people, Anthony.
That's
because
right.
It's not easy.
Right.
Question number 3.
From the 314, what has to go right for the Blues to make the playoffs this year?
Oh, well, they need consistent play out of their defense core this year. I think that to a man that they have back there on the blue line, those guys have to elevate their game. And I also feel like the forwards have to be a lot more consistent as well. You can't have a huge gap in your point totals. You can't have one or two guys at 85 points and next guy's at 40. Mm-hmm. It doesn't work well that way. And let's not forget the special teams. both the power play and the penalty kill were not good. I'm being generous. That were not good last year for the Blues. Power play has got to be a top 10 power play. Your penalty kill has to be somewhere in the top 10 as well, top 15, somewhere in there. Give yourself a fighting chance because the game is full of penalties these days. And if the Blues can improve in those areas, then they're right there in the mix, man.
Question number 4.
I saw a tweet the other day. It said, do you ever wonder how good Michael Vick might have been had he been coached by Andy Reid for his entire career? That 2010 season was incredible. Too bad he was at a later stage in his career at that point. The question I have for you two guys is, what player would have had a better career if he was with a different coach or a different team?
Jamie Rivers. No, I'm just kidding. So I'd like to go back to the Michael Vick thing just for a second. Anthony, in your opinion, would Michael Vick have thrived more under Andy Reid or Kyle Shanahan?
Wow. That's a great question, Jamie.
Because I look at both of these guys as being really, really good offensive guys.
Yeah.
And I look at their teams, and their teams are both really, really good offensively.
Mm-hmm. I think that I would go with Andy Reid because Andy Reid would change his offense. He would blend his offense, like what he likes to do, with the strengths of Vick.
But wouldn't Shanahan do the same thing? Shanahan's never had anybody like Michael Vick. Can you imagine when he sit up at night, lying awake, just drawing up play after play after play, that have him as an option to run it as well?
I think Shanahan might be more stubborn with that though, because his offense is multiple in that he runs like he'll come up with this formation and he'll have the same formation and he'll run different plays out of that formation and it screws up linebacker. But I don't know if Vick has had the accuracy to thrive under Shanahan. Like he had a bullet. An absolute cannon of an arm, but I think Andy Reid would have more fun.
All right,
I think he'd be a more creative play caller in that standpoint.
I don't doubt what you're saying.
It's a really good question.
Thought about as soon as he said that.
I'll say this: it was a great point, and yes, his career would have been different. Now, of course, you hope that the dogfighting stuff.
Well, that's assuming that none of that happened.
Exactly.
Obviously.
Yeah. But had he been with Andy Reid the entire time, I don't think Andy Reid would have allowed him to get away with the stuff that Jim Mora allowed Vick to get away with in Atlanta. It wasn't all Mora. Arthur Blank kind of fell in love with Vick, and Vick has admitted that he was always the last guy out, last guy in, first guy out in Atlanta. He just relied on his athletic talent. The Falcons enabled him.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the dogfighting stuff. When he got out of prison and the Eagles gave him a second chance, Andy Reid was like, look, you're going to do it my way. And I think Vick was more humbled at that point, and then allowed him to really have a second half of his career that was excellent. But if it was Reid first and Reid said, look, this is how we're going to do things here, and taught him to be a pro, I think it would have been different. Jim Moore showed up, first-time head coach. He was a defensive coordinator at the 49ers, gets to Atlanta, and just kind of jumped on that bandwagon, and nobody really taught him to be a pro.
Yeah. Well, it's not they didn't teach him. They just let him be because he was so damn good.
Absolutely. And they just hopped on.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, we're just going to let him do him.
You can do for the athlete.
Yeah.
Question number 5.
Guys, Larry David does not like kickers. We just had a texter text in asking about kicker props.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, we gave our answer. You guys gave your answer. Larry David says that they should get rid of kicking out of the NFL. It has nothing to do with actually being a football player. Thoughts?
What?
Kicking has always been a part of the game. You can't just say that it has nothing to do with football.
How are you going to kick a field goal now?
Right.
You can throw it through the uprights?
It's a kickoff.
You go for two every time.
So what do you do with a punt?
No punting either. He doesn't like punting.
You got to go on fourth down every time?
4 downs to try and get a first down. If you don't, you lose possession.
Special teams matter.
Yeah, I think it's part of it. I think it's the teams that have good kickers. It's an advantage to them.
Yeah, teams that spend time on it, honestly. The Patriots, I'm with you. The Patriots won, there's a lot of games that the Patriots have won on special teams alone. How about Kansas City? Kansas City, they've got Dave Toub, one of the best special teams coach, the most renowned special teams coach in the league. Their special teams are usually outstanding. Last night, they fell asleep a little bit, but... credit the Lions. So, no, Larry David needs to stick with Seinfeld and comedy. And being a genius.
Question number 6.
A writing genius.
Yes.
Jamie.
From the 314, which college football team entering into their new conference will be the most successful?
Ooh.
Anthony, I'll defer.
So
I'm not just going to pretend I know enough.
So we got Texas and Oklahoma going to the SEC. We've got all of those teams going to the Big Ten.
Moving to the Big Ten, right?
Yes.
Who else is moving from the Pac-12? Someone else is moving from...
Oh, like all of them.
Yeah.
Well, you've got USC and UCLA going to the Big Ten. I'll say USC.
They're going to have the toughest time?
No, it's the best, right?
We'll have the best.
Yeah. I'm not gonna take Texas and Oklahoma going into the SEC. That's it's a gauntlet. So I'll take USC going into the Big Ten. Because you really think about the Big Ten.
It's Penn State,
it's Ohio State, Penn
Michigan.
State, and Michigan.
Yep.
Wisconsin usually is competitive. They'll have a top 25 team.
Yeah, but they're not really a team that year after year is in discussion to win it.
No. So you look at the top to bottom. I mean, Northwestern, Doormat, Nebraska can't get out of its own way. Purdue every couple of years has a good team. Iowa never seems to. I mean, they're always competitive under Ferentz, but they never seem to have an offense. It's always defense. Indiana, no. Michigan State every once in a while have a decent team. Maryland, Rutgers. I think USC going to the Big Ten. That would be my team.
I agree.
That'll be our team.
I like it.
Hey, don't forget, get signed up today for this year's Fastlane Pick'em Challenge at 101ESPN.com. You can register to win prizes. You can take your shot at us and the Rizzuto Show. See if you can beat us. Jamie off to a nice start. Jamie's got us up 1-0 on the Riz Show because he was the only one on both teams to take the Lions last night. So well done, Jamie Rivers. You can make your football picks each week. See if you can defeat us, the Fast Lane and the dudes from the Rizzuto Show. The Fast Lane and the Riz Show throwing down all football season long in the Pick'em Challenge. Get signed up to play now at 101ESPN.com, all courtesy of Bud Light. And don't forget, guys, Jamie, again, off to a nice start. We are doing the punishment, the weekly punishment.
Woof.
So low score between Jamie, Marsh, me, and BT, and Kerry Davis, low score will be punished via the airsoft gun. So, not great. A couple of years ago, was it 2 years ago? I was like every week for me. I had a dreadful year.
Yeah, at one point we're like, oof.
Yeah, he's not going to come in, probably.
Gonna fake a car accident or something.
Yeah. Or get pulled over or something. Anyways, we're going to do Fade or Follow next, plus criticisms and compliments here on 101 ESPN.
Anthony, we were just talking about the Pick'em Challenge and the NFL football and all that stuff. Well, get in on all the action over at FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, new customers, you bet $5, you get $200 in bonus bets, and that's guaranteed. And all customers, that's right, all customers who bet $5 will get $100 off the NFL Sunday Ticket, brought to you by YouTube and YouTube TV.
You know you're looking at all these games right now, and you know you want to watch the games this weekend. NFL Sunday Ticket via FanDuel and this offer, man, that's fantastic. So this is what you got to do. Now's the best time to join FanDuel. Just go to FanDuel.com/fast. Again, FanDuel.com/fast. Kick off the NFL season with that offer that Jamie just mentioned. You don't want to miss that. Check out all the odds, all the spreads, the points, the totals, the Super Bowl futures, the player props, the same game parlays, the live betting. It's all there at FanDuel, the official partner of the NFL.
21 and over, present in Illinois. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issues, non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. NFL Sunday ticket offer. It ends 9/18/23. No refunds. Terms and embargoes apply. $100 off NFL Sunday ticket. Not YouTube TV. YouTube TV base plan required to watch YouTube TV. Redemption requires a Google account and current form of payment. Commercial use excluded. Subscription renews. Cancel any time.
Proudly serving the community for over 40 years, Scott Lee Heating Company is a locally owned and operated HVAC company and a Mitsubishi Electric elite contractor. Our experienced team members are dedicated to providing the best heating and air conditioning solutions for your home or business. Scott Lee Heating is proud to be veteran-owned, and we're committed to bringing professionalism and value to every job. Trust us to keep your home comfortable all year round. Visit ScottLeeHeating.com today for all of your HVAC needs.
It's time for FanDuel Fade or Follow on the Fast Lane.
Brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook. Make every moment more.
Everyone follow us.
No fade.
Money, 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 money.
So we have Trevor back for round 3. He's already won $100 of FanDuel's money. He's going for $150 this weekend if he can accurately predict whether or not to fade or follow us. It is time for fade or follow right now. What's up, Trevor?
Not much, guys. How are you guys?
Doing good. And no, you're probably feeling pretty good after the last couple of weeks. So let's see if we can make you more money here. We came to the consensus. We looked at this NFL slate. We went over a couple of games for this weekend. And the game that we all circled was the Falcons and the Panthers.
Of course you did. Sorry.
Like I said, we're all in this together, Trevor. The Panthers starting a rookie quarterback in Bryce Young. Adam Thielen is banged up. His other receivers are banged up. rookie quarterback on the road against Falcons team that should be able to run the ball pretty well. We're going to lay the 3, so we have Falcons -3 Sunday at noon. Would you like to fade us or follow us?
Well, I'm 2-0 following, so we're going to follow again.
Yes. We're all in it together. Sounds good. So, and if it's a push, so if the Falcons win by 3, Jamie, then you'll be back next week. You won't win FanDuel's money, but you'll be back next week, okay? So push, at least you're back next week. Sound good?
Sounds good to me.
All right. Good luck to you. We hope to talk to you next Friday. Have a good weekend.
I hope so, too. You guys have a great weekend.
I appreciate you. Thank you. That's Trevor. So Falcons -3.
All right. So earlier today, when we did our lineup game and we picked our home run players and all that, who did I end up taking, Anthony?
Nolan Arenado.
Who was I going to switch to?
Wilson Contreras.
And then I said, I'm not going to switch, right?
Right.
Wilson Contreras hits a ding-dong Johnson.
Let's go!
Yeah.
Woo! Woo!
Yeah.
Nice
We're
job,
making
Marsh.
a slow push. We're coming back.
Nice job. So 3?
We're coming.
3?
We're coming. We're at 4.
4 now for Marshy.
Huh.
You got 9. I got 7.
I'm happy for you, Marshy.
Marsh hits his 4th of the year.
We're
Nice
coming.
job, man.
That's why I'm happy. He hit a home run.
Yeah. I'm sorry you didn't get yours, Jamie.
You know what? It's all right, Anthony. It's not about me. It's about the team. I'm happy when guys are successful.
Yeah. 3-0 Cardinals right now. 3-0.
I'll give it back.
They jumped.
Wait till the bullpen gets in there.
I don't even know if it's going to be the bullpen.
Probably not.
Yeah, Contreras, 3-run shot. Goldschmidt scored. Arenado scored. So your guy, Arenado, got a hit at least, right?
He did.
He did. He got a hit. So, Marsh, what do we
I
got?
didn't pick him for the hit.
No. That's all right.
Yeah.
What do we got for criticisms and compliments?
Yeah, right off the top of the show. No idea about the context of this text. It just says, suck it, Anthony.
Okay, deal.
What? That's aggressive.
It's probably the Lions. Probably a Lions fan. Maybe. I don't know. Or a Chiefs fan.
Yeah, who knows?
Who knows? Or just not a me fan. You know?
Yeah. We love getting text messages from people that send text messages that are not intended to go to us. We got a text from the 314 earlier today. I'm waiting at the light, about to pull into the bowling alley. And then we got another one, wrong person.
Okay, thank you.
I mean, good luck.
Yeah. We hope you made it.
Careful with the old 7-10 split.
Yeah, it can be tough.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Criticism. I get taking the opposing team's players for beat the streak when the Cards are playing the Braves. But the Reds? I appreciate the loyalty, Marshy, to Tommy Edman, the new cold dead hands Cardinal. Yeah, I always go with the Cardinal players. For a compliment, great show as always. Glad Anthony's okay after the fender bender. I'm sure trying not to urinate in your pants had something to do with it.
You know,
Not
that's
that
a
time.
great call.
Yeah, not that time.
That's a great call.
Yeah, I wasn't stuck
that's
in
the part
traffic
you're not
that
telling
time.
us, but
Nah. I mean, who knows? If it took a little bit longer, we may have had a problem. Although Marsh gave me those Depends, so we're good now. I don't have to worry about it anymore.
Oh, absolutely. From the 618 compliment, Jamie's sound effects when he talks. Woof, voom.
you're welcome. Took me a lot of years to perfect those.
Which ones?
Woof.
Oh.
I don't know what voom is or fume. I don't know. I'm sure I said it somewhere at some point. I don't know. I say a lot of things.
Great things.
I like the when Jamie does that.
Which one?
It's like
Huh. I don't know. Anthony, sometimes I black out. Like,
oh, wait.
not late at night either.
Are you talking about the one where, like, if you do the moonshine, it gets a little moonshine?
Yeah.
That?
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about, Marshall?
yeah, something like that.
Okay, he wasn't. That wasn't what
Jamie, are you blacked out?
Are you going to the mall later?
No.
That's where you're going. Are you going to the mall there?
What's the question, Marshy?
No, mister.
Keep spelling, mister.
Yeah. Is it because of the Elijah Craig toasted barrel? FedEx Joe asked, great show today, gents. We all survived a short weekend. Jamie, Anthony, what bourbon are you drinking this weekend?
Well, that's the one I'm hitting up tonight. Will be the Elijah Craig Toasted Barrel. It is fantastic.
Yeah.
It's so good. Tonight, that'll be the first one that I ice up. And then from there, we'll go, who knows? We'll figure it out.
You know, I might go the whiskey route and go a little Jack Daniels.
Oh.
Feeling that now.
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just now when I said it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, that's what we're going to do.
Marshy, what about yourself? You don't like the bourbon, do you?
I like bourbon.
Do you? Okay.
Yeah, I
He
like
likes
it.
it all.
I like it all.
He'll probably go with an whatchamacallit, though?
The high noon?
The high noon.
I actually will.
I almost went Blue Moon. That's not it.
A little tailgating this weekend.
It's a good drink.
In
It's good
Columbia.
beer.
So the high noons might be an option.
Flowing.
Maybe we'll dabble in some Busch Light, though. You know? Bring it back to the old college days. Who knows? Who really knows?
Who knows? Who really knows?
You shove it in my face and I'll drink it.
Wow. That's an
I don't blame
invitation for anybody that is going with you this weekend.
Yeah.
So you're going to a Mizzou game, checking out Middle Tennessee State.
Absolutely. The Blue Raiders.
Brooke Grimsley's Middle Tennessee State.
Mm-hmm.
Does Mizzou cover as a 21-point favorite with you in the stands?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Everybody have a great weekend. We appreciate you listening throughout the course of the week. Everybody have a safe and fun weekend. Instant replay coming up from 6 to 7. Don't forget, we got football over the weekend, college and pro. See ya.